City. It's time for a great afternoon of sports entertainment talk. Get ready for in-depth discussions on everything from the court to the field, mixed with the business and culture that orbit the sports world. Whether it's the latest blockbuster trade or the societal impact of sports. Two Men On, with your hosts, Van Nunley and Fred Slow, with producer Isaiah Johnson on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Mike's hot.
It's Tuesday, Albuquerque. Yeah. You know what that means? Well, that means the boys are at Duke City Cages. You're going to hear the bats in the background. You're going to hear the kids a-playing. It's going to be a fun play day. It's not a fun play day. For one, Robert Sala. We will talk about that at link. Joining us on the program, Jared Gay. Jared, welcome.
Oh, happy to be here, Fred. I've trained at Duke City Cages for the last 5 years, so love being here.
I mean, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, great family.
Like a home away from
I
home
know.
for you. Like a whole thing. Van, that's coming through loud and clear. Van is working on a technical issue. Simon Gay will be joining us soon. Isaiah Johnson back at the studio. Okay. Poor Robert Saleh today. Poor Robert Saleh. Simon Gay, welcome to the show. Van Nunley, welcome.
Oh, hey, guys.
Thank you. Poor Saleh. Poor Robert Saleh. Boys, poor nothing. He is a victim of what I call Rogerspiracy. He's a victim, just like so many were, as he duped them. He duped all of the New Jersey Jets franchise. Also, side note to this entire thing we're about to go down, once a garbage franchise, always a garbage franchise. They're never going to get better at anything ever. They are bottom tier for all time.
Obviously, Joe Namath sold his soul to the devil, and then it's all been downhill from there. Like it's they peaked super early. He put on a cool jacket. People tell stories about him, and it's been awful since.
The only story I tell about him is when he's taking a sideline report and he goes, "They're so pretty. I want to kiss you.
Kiss you on the mouth, baby."
That's the only story I tell about him. Escorted out of the building today. Must have been an awkward plane ride back. Must have been.
I mean, the only coach worse for the Jets than Robert Saleh is Nathaniel Hackett. He is not better. I cannot believe Rodgers advocates for that dude.
You don't think?
I'll always stand by it. The quiet coaches never work.
No, they're
Never works.
the really loud ones don't work. You have to be.
Yeah.
It's like
In the middle.
Goldilocks.
You're gonna be in the- yeah.
You have to be the Goldilocks of coaches.
The only way you can be a quiet coach is if
Belichick,
you're
though.
amazing. That's like Andy Reid. You don't really see him yelling at people, but he's a great coach.
Or
Everyone
Belichick.
else is too quiet, and then they get fired in 2 years.
The thing that with Nathaniel Hackett that I thought was such a interesting deal here was the defense. By definition, was looking good, right? The offense was looking bad. But, Hackett is telling Rodgers, it's not my fault. Like, I'm sending different plays down. It's not my fault. And he's like, I'm hearing you in my headset, Nathaniel Hackett. Like, I'm not hearing Robbie Saleh in my headset. Like, help me understand. And he will be the interim guy. Like, I don't know if that's been named yet.
God, you got to skip over him.
Who?
Whoever's the next in line after Hackett.
Go right
has
to
it.
the
it's
The
not
next has
Hackett.
been named. The
It's
next
like,
has been named.
he used to play for the Jets.
Oh, he's
So
not
it's
even
not-
like with
it's
the
not-
team.
it's not
Did I
Hackett.
miss the news today?
Yeah,
Oh, good. They skipped over
Yeah,
him.
I thought he was a coordinator.
Smart.
So
it is
Woody Johnson.
Jeff Ulbrich.
Oh, that
Linebacker
guy.
CJ Mosley, head coach. Just kidding.
Jeff Ulbrich. He used to
I'm
play
sure
for them.
that-
He was their defensive coordinator.
Googling Jeff
Oh,
Ulbrich.
great. Fire a defensive head coach and hire another one.
The
You hear Saleh was escorted out by police. Like I don't know if he was like resisting or what, but I hear that he wasn't allowed to talk to the players, wasn't allowed to say bye to anybody. He was escorted out of the building by security.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if this is like a very mean goodbye or if he was raising his voice. I don't know exactly what that means, but that was what the headline was.
Well, you've never been fired from a big corporate job because that's just standard in practices. Is you have security walk you out of the building.
Yeah,
That's not special or unique.
there's this idea in fans of the NFL. Oh, you just turn his key card off. You just stop him out. That's not how this stuff works. You
Yeah.
go inside, you get your affections from your office.
Yeah.
You have an escort. That's how this works. What's weird though is former U.S. Ambassador Woody Johnson doesn't do it on the off day.
Yeah.
Like he goes and says, thanks for playing. Time to go. What happened to yesterday? Like, also, you were traveling back midday on Sunday from London. Like, you had almost 48 hours to have done this already. Did you not know? Like, could Aaron Rodgers not get a hold of you until this morning? Like, those are the questions.
That's not exciting, though. We want to hear about the cops, you know. Just, I mean, I believe Saleh is like he's the first Islamic coach in the NFL. And then you're going to see all that stuff come out for no reason, when in reality, I mean, honestly, good for Saleh, because the Jets, I thought, were playing okay. And I told you this week one, the play calling was atrocious.
Right.
So Saleh gets out. This team's going to be so much worse. They cannot possibly get better. So he's got a shot to like land a decent job. He has led a top 5 defense the last couple of years.
Well, even Rodgers' reaction to the play calls on the sideline, like he's handing the ball off on 4th and 1, and he's looking at the offensive coordinator with his hands up. He's like, "What are you doing?" It's like, that's not the right play call. I mean,
offensive coordinator didn't get fired.
I mean, Brees Hall's been horrible. He looks horrible.
He's
He
terrible.
looks slower than Najee Harris. He looks horrendous.
Yeah.
He's inefficient on the ground, which is not what he's supposed to do.
He's Rashad White, but more expensive.
Woof. That's tough comp.
And what do you do with them? Nothing, because this team does nothing the rest of the year. They don't win any more games. Like, they don't have their stuff good. And you do, though, hear that, well, you know, we got rid of the one, so now we're playing for ourselves, guys. You know, no, oh, my God, we're going to rally around. You're not. I don't even know what their schedule is.
Has
Do you think
Play
this
the Bills
comes from?
Bills next week. A Bills team who's lost twice, who you know they need to win.
Yeah.
That's a tough.
Has an offensive coordinator ever, or an interim head coach ever fired an offensive coordinator? Because that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, that'd
be
he
great.
walks in the door and he's like, "All right, get out, Hackett."
You
Later.
too. Yeah.
Get the cops.
So he is done for that. It's a tough one for he. It is also tough for the Jets, because the Jets just don't know how to figure it out.
Mhm.
Like, the Jets forever, perennially, are this bad thing. And even when they get like the greatest quarterback of all time, even when they
Regular season.
they get his hand-picked offensive whatever, and they get a head coach that's supposed to be revolutionary, and they convince HBO to come in and give them a lot of shine last year, and all these things go. None of it goes well.
I'm not sure that Aaron Rodgers made this call, or like whoever is the head cinematographer for NFL networks, because Robert Saleh is so greasy. Like, that has to ruin a lot of shots. Like, when you're panning on the sideline, like, somebody's got to come and powder his forehead, because like whatever he's coating himself in, it's just so shiny and reflective. Like, it's got to ruin some shots during the game.
At least you always know where he's at.
Yeah.
If you're
always
hit with the glare, follow the glare of the sun. You'll find him.
They play on Monday. If you'd have done it the Monday before, you'd have had a full week. I guess that matters.
They should have done it Monday morning. That would have been hilarious. Like next Monday morning.
Yeah.
As soon as we get ready for the game, be like, "All right, you can head home."
Too many puns about being jet lagged coming back from London. That's why they were afraid to do it.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah. Hey, Woody, like, you're grumpy when you get off a plane. Like, let it simmer for a second. Like, don't fire him yet.
they don't have a scapegoat now.
I was just about to say,
Yeah.
if the scapegoat was Hackett, and you went right for your coach.
Mm.
I mean, usually you go, yeah, like the Bills fired Ken Dorsey last year, went with Joe Brady, probably saved McDermott's job. You don't fire your head coach first when the issue is how bad the offense looks. After Rodgers' first good game, I think week 3, they're like, "Oh, he's so back." You're like, yeah, right. Okay, he quick 2-step drop, chucks it out, threw the ball 55 times.
Yeah.
It was just
Well, there's a conversation we had too about going to London, because they went over early, right? So they were over there however many amount of days. And if Woody Johnson's over there with Aaron Rodgers the whole time, and then, you know, maybe they sit next to each other on flights. Maybe he doesn't come back on the team plane. Maybe he comes back on the owner's plane. Like, there's all these other little scenarios, right? To where that loss on Sunday, like his mind had been made up beforehand, maybe didn't talk about it, you know, and then maybe on Monday he goes to the front office of the team, HR or whatever, is like, "Hey, I've really, you know, put together this wordy email of how Robert Saleh is no longer with the team. Go ahead and send that out, and then we're going to get him out of the building." But they took a day to figure it out, because he seems like an owner that doesn't really have his stuff together. So it's not, and probably the organization is not trusted enough to where if he'd have had that conversation while on the trip in London or Sunday when they got back, that they would have kept it quiet, you know, up until till whenever.
You'd have
So
to.
if that decision was made post that loss, the HR gal's not in until Monday. It takes a full day to figure it out. And if that's the truth, there are just multi-levels of failures over there to where none of these cats are going to figure it out with the Jets.
I mean, there better be some stories coming out about how he lost the locker room or he did this or did that, because he's the defensive coach. The defense was playing great. The offense was garbage. Like, it doesn't make a ton of sense unless there was something behind the scenes that was a little extra.
The defense has always been so good for that team. I mean, last year the frustration was crazy because they should have went out and picked up a different quarterback after Rodgers got hurt. They didn't. I don't know if that's Saleh's choice. Probably not. GM probably didn't like it. So, yeah, maybe the quietness and the fact that it's just like no one is speaking up, and now Rodgers is basically the coach because he's the one voicing the frustrations and trying to fix things. So,
Well,
like, why are you even here, Saleh?
Also, 25 years later, maybe Belichick's due. That could be the one.
Please no. I'd rather have the Bills take him than the Jets. Please do not need him back in the AFC.
How long was the head coach there? 2 days? Is that what it was before he took the job with the Patriots? Maybe it's all full circle.
There we go.
Bring in Billy Boy.
You probably already got the paperwork sitting around somewhere.
I don't know how he couldn't have the paperwork sitting around somewhere.
Maybe you got to just refresh a page on your computer.
When we get back from the break, we tackle Monday Night Football from last night. Obviously, we're going to talk the world of the NFL, a ton going on in the world of sports, including everything we couldn't recap this past weekend, which is Keanu Reeves driving a race car.
Mm-hmm.
It is officially here. Speed on the racetrack. Break down that sentence whenever we get back. It's 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, live from Duke City Cages, the sports animal.
This report brought to you.
Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to Two Men On, where if you're a Kansas City Chiefs fans, that means you welcome Kareem Hunt back, which is a stupid sentence.
Sucks. Sucks he's playing good, too. I was hoping he would get cut like day one.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't afraid to get him hurt. They handed him the ball 30 times or something. Simon Gates.
Who's more spoiled? Chiefs fans right now or Patriots fans like 6 years ago?
6 years ago?
Well,
Patriots
don't be super
fans.
literal. Don't be super literal, but you know what I mean.
Like 20 years ago before they started their run?
No, when the Patriots fans knew that every year there was like a 70% chance they'd be in the Super Bowl.
I'm gonna go Chiefs fans.
You think they're more spoiled?
And I hate the Patriots as a Bills fan so much. It's partially because any close game, the Chiefs get a number of calls. Yes, I know it goes both ways sometimes.
No, it doesn't.
But no, okay,
No,
then
it's the
thank you.
Chiefs.
But the
They're
media,
cheating for the Chiefs.
they love Pat Mahomes. They want him to be better than Brady. They want him
really
to be the greatest of all time, and that's why they're in a society now. 20 years ago, none of these social media platforms existed. You did,
Yeah.
I mean, now it's like it's commercial. It's how many kids they have, everything, every single part of their lifestyle.
The Patriots started that in the NFL, though. So Isaiah's 6 years was the wrong number, but the correct number is 24, right? So the 02, 04, 05 were all champions, and then the 15, 17, and 19 were all champions. And those three little windows there, instead of Taylor Swift, it was Giselle Bundchen.
Right.
It's like these stories have existed. They didn't embrace it, I think, that the way the Chiefs do, though. Like, they don't have Tom Brady, General Mills cereal. They have that for Travis Kelce.
Right.
Like, they didn't – like, Robert Kraft went and did a bunch of weird stuff, and that just went away.
Here's a huge difference, I think, between like being – if you go off of 6 years ago, I think at that point, like we had seen the Patriots lose to the Eagles. We had seen – I mean, I guess the Chiefs did have their loss, but they lost to Brady. So I don't think that hurt as nearly as bad as I'm sure the Patriots fans felt watching Brady lose to Eli. But I think that the Patriots, I think their fans knew that they were winning because their organization was super sturdy and they felt super comfortable, whereas the Chiefs, they just leaned so heavy on Mahomes. And, I mean, Andy Reid's a great coach and they have a great culture there. But I feel like, I mean, I don't know. It's just – it has a little bit more flavor with the Chiefs, and the Patriots were more like a robotic machine. That makes sense.
While the Chiefs are a really good football team, top to bottom, they have Patrick F. Mahomes. He's fantastic. The NFL is like actively cheating for them, and I'm not going to quit saying that.
Yeah.
The Patriots cheated the NFL. The NFL is cheating for the Chiefs. I mean, that's the big difference. Like that winning drive, that ghost holding penalty that the defensive end had on the other side of the field away from the ball where he didn't even touch the guy. I was like, what? No, there is no way that wasn't on purpose.
That's a good breakdown.
I feel like the Patriots, too, everyone else hated them because I feel like they were the end of when teams cared about winning. Like, I feel like the mid-2000s, before these TV deals got so big, before this money got so gigantic, specifically after it went from organizations of owners, like groups of owners, to specific individual billionaire owners, now it's a thing where those teams, including the ones at the very bottom, they want the Chiefs to do well because the NFL, the money is better, they do better. Like, there is a support for them that I don't think New England had across the league 20 and 10 years ago.
Yeah, because there was times where even like Peyton Manning-led teams were more popular than the Patriots, and everyone knew the Patriots were the best team. So there's a lot of other teams too that also had a lot more of like a spotlight. The Patriots, it was almost like how the Spurs were. We just expected them to win, and it's like we're not expecting some type of highlight, but we just expect them to win. And then also with the Chiefs, along with Fred said, the NFL does better when they're winning. But then also you're expecting Mahomes to do some no look, or you want to see Kelce, and then now you add in Swift and all this extra stuff. Yeah, even the kicker.
There was definitely an element of Patriot fatigue back because they were doing it for so long. Everyone was sick of seeing it. Like we haven't hit the fatigue mark for the Chiefs
Yeah.
yet. It's like that's still fun and exciting and new, and with the reinvigoration of all this Swifty stuff, and friggin' Travis Kelce and his retired brother have one of the biggest podcasts in the country. He's got a disgusting box of cereal with his face on it. Like we haven't hit the fatigue point yet. Like it's still interesting.
So there's a 10-year gap you had for the Patriots winning number 3 between 3 and 4.
So they won in 2001, 2003, 2004, and then they won in 14, 16, and 18. And one of those years they were undefeated and lost in there too.
No, the thought that the Chiefs will never have a gap like that. They want Mahomes to win. He's at 3. They want him to win 7 or 8.
Yeah,
Sure.
So it's going to come quick. They want him to be the first team to win 3 in a row, right? That was what this year would be.
Yeah.
It's just bizarre, and I'm incredibly biased.
Hey,
So,
Patrick Mahomes better do it before Arch Manning gets in the NFL.
Oh, it's really
he's
over.
He's going to get all the holding calls, and he's going to get all the help in the world.
Yeah, that's gonna be bad.
That's going to be the new darling.
division
Patrick Mahomes will be out. Archie Manning will be in.
since 1997, or I guess 96. Here's what the Patriots have done. They've been division champ 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 19 times they won the
Since
division
96. That's
between
crazy.
96 and 2019. Like the poor Bills fan, like poor Dolphins fan,
All right.
like poor New Jersey Jet fan, the 1 or 2 of them. Like it
Yeah.
was, I don't know. They were on a different level, and they were doing it weird. They kept drafting like punt returners as wide receivers.
Sure.
Like, outside of Randy Moss, it was. So you're telling me he used to return kicks?
Yeah.
Like, let's.
And then Brady goes down, and you're like, oh, finally, and they still go 11-5 with Matt Castle
Mhm.
or something like that. Yeah, they still won like double-digit games with Matt Castle.
6th-round draft pick, undersized linebackers, and
Never
being the
played in
best player in
college.
the NFL, catching 3 tutties a year too, 100 tackles and 3 tutties a year out of nowhere.
And they were like, if that doesn't work, we got the quarterback from Kent State playing wide receiver. We can just put him back there too.
Yeah.
Like it
He
should be
knows.
fine.
Yeah, that's a real playbook guy there.
Hey, and like their guys who were suspect, they got rid of them. Like they got rid of Aaron Hernandez. Like they didn't bring him back. Like
They didn't get rid of Aaron
Wow.
Hernandez.
Oh, my
He
bad.
got rid of
Okay,
himself.
okay. I thought.
One way to say it. Yeah.
Dude,
I'm like, wait.
just saying they didn't bring him in.
I even tried to get Tebow on there to balance him out.
God, he was awesome.
Yeah, I had Tebow for a
Oh, Aaron Hernandez was the
hot
best.
summer.
Oh, you're talking about Tebow?
Both.
yeah,
When they were together in Florida, you were like, this
Uh-huh.
is the duo.
little apples and oranges there.
Monday Night Football, the Kansas City Chiefs improved to undefeated from undefeated. So I guess that's actually a lateral move to still be the best one doing it. As Van pointed out, it is not a game for the NFL. They choose for only the Chiefs to win. That sucks for the rest of the NFL.
Right.
But it's to the point now when you turn the game on. And by the way, New Orleans did not show up. Like,
Right.
Yeah, just to be overly clear on that. There's no point in watching it. Just hang out with your friends. Like it's
Good time to get chores done.
Which
as
is
you- as
what
we
we
say.
did at Howie's Sports Page last night.
Correct.
That was a banger last night.
nice. I know we're gonna talk about this in fantasy. Nice of Travis Kelce to show up and run.
Mhm.
2 weeks in a row.
Like he's going sideline to sideline now on some routes and doing
Just
some
took the
things.
Chiefs' best player to get hurt.
That's
Uh,
well then.
Wait, Juju Smith-Schuster.
yeah,
he's fine.
Nine's the guy
He's
now.
fine, right?
They're not, and like they're sharing it a little bit too. But handing it that running back so many times, and I know it's the second half and they got the lead and nothing's gonna happen, but cool. You know, like Steele must have been that bad.
Well, he fumbled again.
Kareem Hunt's just that good.
Yeah, said no one ever.
Of a person or a football player? Because he used to be pretty good at football.
Cares how many points
Yeah.
you're putting up, you know?
Uh-huh. Moral
He's-
clause.
He's not known for football.
Mhm.
That's not his thing.
Yeah, that's not the
Ben,
first.
you
It's not
must
going to be the
have-
first thing on his
You
Wikipedia.
must have been punching air every time a ball was handed off between Hunt and Kamara.
Yeah,
He's
dude.
like, throw the ball.
That's why I hung out with my friends last night instead of watching these serial assaulters in the backfield.
Kareem Hunt's like, I can't wait to get back to my hotel room after the game just so I can beat up some lady.
Yeah,
God.
Alvin Kamara's "Catch Me in the Elevator," bro.
If you remember his argument on that, do you remember? He was like, no, she called me a bad name.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, what?
Oh,
That was the logic?
okay.
Like,
What do you got? Earplugs on every football game too? Like 80,000 people are calling you bad names.
They should have a Ray Rice, Zach Stacy, Kareem Hunt, Alvin
Yeah.
Kamara podcast. Got to beat up other women.
And
We welcome our first guest, Ray Caruth.
Yeah.
Instead of CTE ESPN, it's just DV ESPN.
TV ESPN. Oh God.
We're sending it over to our producer Riley de Cooper to see if he can excite us about anything.
Yeah.
And he would do it. Maybe Clark Hunt back then was like, well, when we asked Kareem about it, he lied to our faces, so we got rid of him.
Mm-hmm.
Here he is back.
He's bad.
It's because they said he's a better man now.
Who said that? Did Clark Hunt say it?
I think Andy Reid said it. Yeah.
Okay, well,
I mean, they're practically cousins. They got the same last name. Like, you got to give your family another chance.
Kareem
Right?
just showed up with a Big Mac, and Andy goes, "You really come around, Kareem."
yeah. You know, sometimes guys, players take the time to know you. Like, he was the example. And yeah, New England's 6 championships still currently greater than Kansas City's 3, but watch Kansas City get help towards 6 over the course of the next 4 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
I got a great comparison for you, Fred.
Yep.
The Chiefs are Roman Reigns, the Patriots are John Cena.
The Patriots are not.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Roman
no.
Reigns got helped and helped and helped and helped like the Chiefs do, and it seemed like the whole system was just built for him to win. Versus the Patriots had to go out and grind for their wins. Like
John Cena's a good guy,
Yeah.
and the Patriots
are-
and the Chiefs are not. They're both.
They're both bad guys.
John Cena also didn't have to try any harder. He just had to act a little bit longer than the other guys did.
That's a really good point. His final WrestleMania is this WrestleMania, so no,
Aw.
I'm not going to get real emotional about
I
it. But.
doubt it. It's his last one.
What?
He's gonna need a mortgage payment someday.
He's-
He'll be back.
He's doing the farewell tour.
Well, yeah. So did Brett
Might come
Favre
in
4
one time.
times.
I believe John Cena's managed his bankroll a little bit better than Brett Favre. He's not on the Adrian Peterson trajectory of needing a paycheck.
No. The Jamarcus Russell Chili's bar tab.
He owes one.
He spent like $130,000 at an Applebee's one night. You know how impossible it is to spend that much money at an Applebee's?
With 2 for $20?
yeah,
I didn't even know
yeah,
I didn't even think they had that much food in those restaurants.
yeah.
Yeah.
He
They
goes,
have
"Hey, can we
booze."
get bottle service?"
Yeah, I was going to say.
Sure. Right this way, sir.
He goes, "Bring me that bottle of Smirnoff.
Yeah.
I'll give you 200."
He goes, let me get the El Presidente. They're like, this is Applebee's, not Chili's.
Yeah.
He's like, but just try.
Just do it. Like,
Yeah,
do
just
it.
put it all together. They're like, what's in it? He's like,
you an Uber to go get it.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
yeah. Also, do you have crazy
Let me-
bread?
Let me DoorDash 240 of these over to my house.
When we get back from the break, we actually talked about Monday Night Football last night. It's 2 Men on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
It's the program, Duke City. Welcome back to Two Men On. Welcome back to 95.9 FM, AM 610, the sports animal. The boys are live from Duke City Cages downtown, First Street, a little sprinkle north of Lomas. Bring your kiddos down here. Come whack some balls. Jared Gay will teach your kid how to hit baseballs.
There you go. Simon can hit the ball a decent amount too.
Both sides from the plate, I hear.
Oh yeah, me right-handed, brutal. Or sorry, left-handed. Left-handed. I'm good.
Oh,
Right.
his left hand is bad. Not good. Can hit a softball pretty far left-handed.
Did you hit one out?
Yeah, last
yeah,
week.
home run, lefty. Go up there just because we're beating everyone so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's 32-2, you probably shouldn't keep hitting righty.
And by the way, that's not fun. We don't enjoy that. We get up by 20 and we're like, this is we want
there should be rules. First off, I mean, you should be playing real baseball, not softball, but we'll get that out of the way. But there should be rules like skunk rules. Like if you're up 20 friggin' runs, like just let them
there is, but you have to finish 4 innings first.
Oh God, you didn't even get to the 4th inning,
or the 55-minute time limit.
Okay,
so it's yeah.
You can't like get up 20 and just like let them use all of their outs in a row. Like
So-
you get to play 4 straight.
It'll be 20-0 after the first inning.
So yesterday we played a team. They only had 9, so the 10th guy's an automatic out. So I tell them like we're beating them by 20. I'm like, we don't want the automatic out. I'm like, we want them to be able to battle a little bit because if we're up by 20.
Okay.
And they're like, oh, like we appreciate that. And the ump goes, this is the rules. Automatic. I'm like, you are the worst, dude.
He's the worst.
I'm like, we're trying to be
Okay.
nice here because it's so
I hate
bad.
that guy.
What is this, like beer league, church league? Like
It's just a
Dude,
city
honestly,
league.
it's
Yeah.
just
Just
it's
open
D. It's
city
the,
league?
it's the highest rank we can play right now.
okay, and you beat somebody 30-2.
They're so bad.
Oh man.
Yeah, you hit it to the outfield, and the center fielder's catching it in it like a basket. Like
Yeah.
they're like their hands by their crotch trying to catch the ball.
That
I'm
is
like, you got to get the glove above your head to catch it. You're gonna get hurt.
They put 2 girls in the outfield.
now. First off, women are excellent athletes, and we treat them with dignity and
They
respect
are.
on
If
this
it was
program.
co-ed league,
Also, like,
But they have their own league.
catcher and first base, right? Like catcher and first
Like,
base
come
is
on,
where you go. Come on.
they were
We
getting
know it.
peppered all game.
Monday Night Football wrap up here. The Chiefs are still undefeated. The Saints were an absolute fluke. 2-0. They didn't punt in their first 2 games. Scored on every possession in their first 2 games. Since then, the Saints are 0-3. This is who we thought they were, right?
You just got to wait for Spencer Rattler to get in there.
Woo,
Yeah, do
buddy.
you believe they're going to start him?
Well, if there's no car, they have to, right?
What's his name? Hayner? Is that how you
Jake
pronounce
Hayner,
it?
yeah.
Hayner. He's bad.
Yeah, he's pretty bad.
It'll be pretty exciting to see Rattler. Carr is the fall off was pretty extreme. I mean, they were like the best team in football first 2 weeks. You thought this
Right.
seemed like a great game coming up. It
Sure.
would have been a 4-0 Saints against 4-0 Chiefs, but no, they were exactly who we knew.
You were talking about like Alvin Kamara getting MVP votes at the end of the year, like being the number one.
I think the
fantasy
NFL
running
MVP
back,
is going
and
to
they're
be
like,
Ashton Jeanty from Boise State.
Yeah, right.
He's going to win MVP in college.
Dude, he's so good.
Yeah, and if you look at the games ahead, there's nobody else that really should stop him. He already went for over almost 200 on Oregon, so he's already got the he's only doing it against trash teams narrative out the way. So now if he can just cruise, I don't see how he doesn't win Heisman.
Have you
mean,
seen him in
last
the
week-
back He just stands
Yeah.
straight up.
Who else,
He's
who
not-
else does that?
I don't know, but
No.
he stands straight up.
Le'Veon Bell.
Jameer Gibbs.
He's got no bend in his knees. His hands are just by his side. They
Yeah.
hike the ball, and then he runs
He
90
looks
yards.
like a kid taking a school picture.
Yeah.
He's just like,
Oh, that's where I just stand right here. That's where I stand, guys.
And
That's
also
what I do.
for a lot of his numbers, you don't even realize he is only playing the first half. So
Yes.
this last game, he had like 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. and only played the first
186 yards and 3 tutties, and they won
Yeah.
up 40 points. He didn't touch the ball in the second half.
Yeah.
That was wild.
He's had 2 games with 13 or less carries. And
They don't need it.
No, who averages 10 yards a carry through the first 5 games?
when everyone knows you're going to run it.
This whole season.
Future Dallas Cowboy, Ashton Jeanty.
Oh gosh, Jerry would never give us that big of a
Ashton
chance.
has no chance. Dude, Deuce Vaughn's on the team.
Jerry would look at that and everyone would say draft him, and he would say, "Huh, well maybe we don't have to draft him. I can figure out something else."
He'll fall around 2. I'll wait. We'll wait.
Yeah,
That's what he would
We'll
say.
see. The big one is we like our guys.
If we learned anything from Derrick Henry, that we obviously don't need him, so we don't need Ashton either. So we'll just we'll wait a couple rounds and we'll draft the other guy from Utah.
That's exactly accurate.
Yeah, as long as he's white.
Yeah.
In Jerry Jones' mind, he can be on the team. That's why he didn't want to pay CeeDee Lamb.
Hasn't paid Micah either. He paid Dak because he's only half. Got a little bit of white in you.
Yeah.
That's like the most I can tolerate.
I think Randy Gregory though, and in Jerry Jones' defense, Randy Gregory, he gave that guy way too big of a leash. Way too big of a leash. I don't think any other owner in the NFL would have gave Randy Gregory as big of a leash as Jerry did. The guy failed about 5 drug tests before weed was legal in the NFL. Or not say legal, before they stopped testing for it. And this guy just continuously over and over and over is failing and failing. He played like 1 game in 3 years.
Is that the same guy that got caught trafficking? Is like driving around with hundreds of pounds. What was his name?
Greg Robinson?
That was Cam Robinson.
The offensive tackle for the Rams.
Greg
I
Robinson.
thought he was
Greg Robinson.
Greg Robinson.
He was like,
Fred Slowback
like
on the show.
second pick.
So like 120 pounds of weed in his trunk.
Yeah, that was his stuff. Like,
Yeah. My
He's
personal.
straight muling that stuff
Yeah.
over the border.
I mean, you can have like a hobby. It can be a passive hobby. Like you don't have to be.
You don't like mule as a hobby?
No, muling's a good hobby. But
For
do you have to be?
157 pounds.
Yeah.
Worth
57
120 grand.
Which I'm
That's so
not
sweet.
into. Like if that's your thing, that's your thing.
Yeah.
But be better at it.
Now it's encouraged.
Yeah,
he did it in
they
20
need to ask Calvin Johnson how he got away with it his whole career. That's what they got to ask. He said he smoked weed like every day.
for sure.
Oh, I
They
thought
just
you were
got to ask
saying he
Calvin Johnson
muled
how
for
he got away.
people.
No, they got to ask Calvin Johnson how he got away with it the whole time.
You must watch TV, be the best receiver in the league, and they'll let you get away with it.
Did you see the video of Calvin Johnson talking with DK Metcalf?
That was
And
wild.
he is so much bigger than DK Metcalf. Metcalf's like maybe the biggest wide receiver in the NFL. You make Calvin Johnson, like when they show Kevin Durant versus like another guy who's like 7'2" and they're the same height.
Yeah.
That's like, okay, Calvin, you lied. You're actually like 6'8" and like 250.
Not the biggest boy. The biggest boy.
Yeah, the largest man.
He is
if
that thing.
anyone should have been a diva and like demanded a trade, it should have been him.
Oh
Yeah, imagine Calvin Johnson and like catching balls from Peyton Manning
I mean,
or
he had Stafford.
Drew Brees.
Imagine with Mahomes right now, or Josh Allen right now.
He could come out of retirement and like
He's only like 36.
get like 20,
Isn't he?
like 30 snaps a game.
Already in the Hall of Fame.
That's so sweet.
Love it.
They
He's
should-
so good.
It's wild to me you don't just get to go in 1 year. What's this
Right.
5-year waiting period?
Yeah.
Go in.
You got to make sure there's not like a bunch of Brett Favre stuff coming out about you. That's what that little buffer zone's for.
The thing about Calvin is you would think they'd be a little more hesitant to give it to him or put him in so fast, because if you do just throw him in, then maybe other guys like, say, Aaron Donald are going to stop early because they're like, I can quit now and I've done enough to get my Hall of Fame flowers.
No, I
So-
think it definitely works. I mean, Kuechly quit years before they thought he'd be done. Did he get in yet, or is he up soon?
He will
He's
not
not.
this year. It's
This
this
year?
year, and
This
he
year.
will not.
You don't.
Yes,
you don't-
he will.
He's 100% going to get him. Yeah, Fred's anti-Luke.
He's
Yeah.
anti-linebacker, period. So let's make that clear.
It's a stupid position that's wasted. It's not utilized correctly anymore.
Okay, that's fair.
Luke Kuechly utilized it.
I mean,
I think Luke Kuechly was the last one that utilized it. He was a beast.
Yeah, Fred Warner may be the last of
I was
them.
gonna say
Oh,
Warner.
Fred Warner.
Warner plays like him too.
I miss Navarro Bowman and Patrick Willis
That was like the best
Those guys were
linebacker
crazy.
duo.
till Bowman snapped his leg. It's so sad.
Is one of those guys on the bad list, Fred?
I didn't lose any sleep over any of those guys
Okay.
snapping their legs. I don't know anything about them.
I love their background. We want to make sure they cleared your guys'
Yeah,
background.
we want to make sure. Yeah.
Oh, well, I only pay
Patrick
attention.
Willis.
I only pay attention to football players, so I don't worry about linebackers.
Oh my god.
Well,
Nice.
it took the Chiefs 10 days to rule out their speed racer, Rasheed Rice. So now, if you have him on your IR, you can drop him. So that's good.
Oh, is it season
He's
now?
finally ruled out for the season. Took him 10 days.
Oh, bummer. I got him in 2 leagues.
So now he's he's free to drive as fast as he wants on the highway the rest of the season.
But I mean,
Let's get him fix the knee first, then start driving.
I think they fixed it already. I think the
he's gotta
surgery was,
drive-
I think the
he's gotta
surgery was
drive with his
yesterday.
Left knee, right? He hurt his right knee.
You can cross feet. You'll be all right.
Well, I
Speed
don't
racing
know.
left foot.
Did you guys see that? I was going to let you guys bring it up. Did you see that Georgia news? Another Georgia player. They did it again.
They're wild, dude. That's where Keanu should practice.
I see stuff now and I feel bad for them because I'm like, guys, Fred and Van are gonna rip you. Nah, you're doing this to yourself. I can't defend you.
Well, he didn't kill anybody, did he?
No, but there's assault and battery charges.
I got
Oh, he wasn't even driving?
No.
Oh, it's not even a Georgia crime then.
I got an update on Patrick Willis, and it's pretty bad. So
Oh,
he holds a degree in criminal justice, and he envisions a future in law enforcement. So
What a guy.
Man, you would not want to get in a rundown with him. He would mess you
Oh
up.
my goodness.
He goes, let me still pursue. Pick somebody. I mean, when you said Georgia player, I thought this was like Carson Beck got diagnosed with that CB we were talking
Oh,
about.
yeah. He got it bad. He got it real bad.
That's stage 4.
Man, he sucks though. He's looked horrible. And then Alabama beats them, and they lose to
The
Vanderbilt.
CB's progressing. That's why. We're seeing
It's
it.
degenerative.
Yeah, it's going to his arm now.
Yeah, it's all the way in.
Soon that other arm will have a tattoo. Just takes
Yeah,
time.
he's gonna have a full sleeve on his other arm, and then he won't even be able to run.
Yeah, but he's going to show up with his girlfriend to WWE tryouts, already looking the part with 2 double tattooed arms. He's like, I'm done with football. Like every other successful
Yeah,
WWE wrestler.
2
ever.
double tattooed arms look like he got hit with a chair in the face before he went out there.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
The wild thing about wrestling is they just put a mask on him. They're like, it's fine.
No, he's
Like,
fine.
Yeah, he's gonna be the White Ray Mysterio.
correct. Yeah.
Hey, learn a Spanish accent.
What do you mean your name is Beck Mysterio, the long lost cousin north of the border? We'll get back from the break. We wrap up the 4 o'clock hour here at Duke City Cages. It's 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Welcome back to the program where we're putting a pin in hour one, and we're going to do it with a story that is 4 weeks too late. Drake May is going to be the starter for the New England Patriots, taking over for one Jacoby Brissett, the number 3 overall pick.
Yep.
Is now the guy in New England. So get ready to hate the Patriots again.
I like this decision, and I've been hearing things like if the Colts had started Flacco to start the season, and then he was so good, you don't have to go to Anthony Richardson. But because you do it the other way, you can't bench Richardson for Flacco because it's dumb. They did it with – we knew Brissett would be bad. We knew it. And now May coming in, saw what it's like, and he can't possibly be worse than Brissett.
I feel bad for May because their offensive line is really bad. And a lot of their guys got paid this season to go to other teams. So I think he's gonna struggle to start, but I think he'll be okay. He'll be good.
Smart move by the Patriots to put it out during this New Jersey Jets story, because that way not all of national media is calling the Patriots and Drake May and doing that thing because everyone's busy laughing at the New Jersey Jets.
Well, I mean, when did we stop laughing at the New Jersey Jets?
Oh, yeah,
let's
it's
be
continuous,
honest,
right? It's a 20-year thing,
it's
right?
Just keep going and going and going and going. Drake May, he's got talent. He's got good arm talent. He's not as slow as he looks on tape. But like what you said, Simon, the offensive line is atrocious. He is going to get worked. He will have no time.
At least
he's
got Stevenson in the backfield. He's got Gibson who can catch the ball. He's got Polk, who they drafted. Kendrick Bourne just came back.
Douglas.
They don't have a tight end. Pop Douglas. I mean, he's got weapons. He's got guys he can throw the ball to. He was getting like crucified in the offseason because Joe Milton throws the ball like 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And Drake May doesn't. But Drake May's accurate. He was great in college. His junior year, he had a horrible wide receiver core, which is why he wasn't as good as his sophomore year. But he was fantastic his sophomore year.
Yeah.
He was great. And I like him. I have him in a dynasty league. I won't be starting him,
Sure,
because I'm going to give him time. But, I mean, I like him a lot.
Yeah, I think he's a good player, a lot of talent. I mean, looks like a slower Josh Allen, right?
Yeah.
He's a big old boy, got a cannon, like not like a Joe Milton cannon, but you need to read defenses. You need to put the ball where your receivers are. You don't have to throw the ball 110 miles an hour. You don't have to chunk the ball 80 yards down the field like Anthony Richardson. You don't need to have a cannon like Joe Milton. You need to be able to read a defense and know what part of the field your receiver is going to be open and get him the friggin' ball.
Right.
Yeah, if your guy's open and you know where he's going to be, and you can pick apart the defense, you're going to be fine.
Yeah. Tom Brady didn't have a cannon. Joe Montana didn't have a cannon. Like Peyton Manning threw knuckleballs half of the time. Like you just got to get it to your guys over and over again.
Peyton Manning's throws were so funny.
It was wild how awful they were sometimes, right?
But it's right where it needed to go.
Yeah.
I don't like the Patriots. I like Drake May, but it's exciting for football. Like the young talent right now is great. Caleb Williams had a good week last week. Jaden Daniels is looking like, he's an MVP candidate. He won't win that, but he's MVP candidate. Drake May, who's the other one drafted? Penix would be cool. Bo Nix has been okay.
He's had 2 good weeks.
Yeah, but it's great to see. I'm excited for him. He's a talented guy. Good running backs, both who can catch the ball. And if he's smart, as soon as you feel that pressure, you just got to dump it down. Avoid the hits. It's a bad O-line. Good defense. Decently run organization from a football standpoint.
Do you sign David Bakhtiari, unrestricted free agent, had like a year and a half off? Like there's some offensive tackles out there who can still go. Tyron Smith, David Bakhtiari.
You see Jason Peters?
Why don't you
see Jason Peters got signed? Oldest player in the NFL now.
That's so wild.
I don't get how Bakhtiari's not on a team. Unless he's physically unless he would be on the PUP, which is the physically unable to perform list, I don't get why he's not playing. He was fantastic. And at this point, maybe he just doesn't want to play if he's not going to make a ton of money, which I guess is valid. He's already made a lot of money, so he wouldn't put his body on the line. But
Najee Harris runs like he's physically unable to perform.
And he still does it.
And he's still active.
Drake May's 6'4", 225, so I don't think he's going to have any issue. He can see over the line better than Kyler Murray, so he should be okay.
It's a lot of human right there. Like Charles Leno's still out there. David Bakhtiari, we said, still out there.
He must want a lot of money.
DJ Humphrey's still out there. Why don't you just sign all these guys and ride them till the wheels fall off to protect your lifelong investment that Drake May is? You keep running him out there, he's going to get the David Carr treatment.
Yeah.
He's going to get knocked out of the NFL because he gets sacked and hit so much.
Ever since you've mispronounced David Carr for Derek Carr, when you say David, I'm like, does he mean Derek Carr? I'm like, are we sure we know who he's talking about?
Because it's like an old reference now that everyone forgot about. I got it right this time on purpose.
Okay.
See, but at least David Carr wasn't good either.
Or David Carr was fantastic, but he's just
In
like
college, right? First round pick?
he got beat to hell.
I don't.
Like, they should not.
You're saying the NFL he was good?
No, because he got beat to hell by the Texans' expansion offensive line. Set a record for sacks in a season, set a record for sacks in 2 seasons, set a record for sacks in 3 seasons. He was better than Derek Carr.
Yeah, David Carr was the number 1 overall pick. He was the number 1 overall pick.
He got beat to hell in that expansion team.
It's going to be Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson just gets smoked.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I mean, he gets hurt, comes back in for a play, and then it's a design quarterback run, and he gets lit up again. It's a mess.
It's crazy.
1 hour in the books, 2 hours to go. Live from Duke City Cages, downtown Albuquerque, New Mexico on First Street. The Gay Boys are here, and we're going to start talking some fantasy in the 5 o'clock hour. Also, a little Keanu Reeves racing talk coming at you. We'll get to that when we get to that. You're listening to 2 Men On, 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
sports animal.
Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to 2 Minute On. We're live at Duke City Cages talking the world of fantasy football with the Gay Boys. You mentioned it in the first hour. Rashee Rice underwent successful LCL surgery. He's done playing football for the year. Might be done for some time, depending upon legal. Speaking of fantasy, I saw a stat that said Deshaun Watson has settled more sexual assault cases and he's thrown touchdown passes or his time in Cleveland. You go, oh, this guy sucks.
Dude, he's terrible.
It's like the stat with Russell Wilson having more bathrooms than Broncos passing touchdowns.
Correct.
Because I think he had like 9 was it 12 bathrooms in his house,
Yeah.
something like that, and he only did like 7 passing touchdowns.
How do you keep that even stocked? You know how many hand soaps that is?
He pays somebody.
Oh, well, that's a good point.
He's got a guy.
He paid. That's all over now. Drake May has been promoted to starting quarterback in New England, according to Internet Rumor. There you go. And Josh Allen's fantasy finishes are
painful.
There you go. All right, boys.
Allen was for sure. Actually, I don't know how. I'm 80% sure he was knocked out on that play.
He was.
Yes, he was.
I was just hoping he was just taking a breath.
Yeah, you don't have the wobbles just standing there if you're not concussed. Your trainer doesn't make you snort smelling salts if you're not concussed.
Oh, he does that before every drive.
That's pretty really?
Every drive.
Is there just
For
smelling
why?
salts in there?
Smelling salts? Yeah, he has a little pouch. He smells it and throws it on the sideline
For
before every
why?
drive.
Every
Because
drive?
he's a nut job.
Wakes him up because he gets hit 400 times a game. He's got to do it.
That's
Is
wild.
it a bump? Is he actually doing
Yeah.
a bump?
There's cocaine's in there, isn't there?
What you're
No,
describing?
it's
Hey,
just
keep doing it, Josh.
I don't know what
Whatever's
it's made
working.
of.
Well,
It
it's
just
not
like
working right
wakes
now.
you up. You don't actually inject you're just smelling it. You're not snorting powder.
Is the Griselda crew from Buffalo, New York, like dropping off bricks at the Buffalo Bills
Have
team
you guys
facility?
ever done smelling salts?
Say what?
Have you ever tried smelling salts?
Yeah, one time
Yeah.
when I was a kid. And
All right,
Yeah.
it sounds
I
like we're doing
did
it
it.
before the radio one
Yeah.
week in the future.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
I did a couple whiffs one time when they're trying to bring me out of a concussion.
After every commercial break, we're gonna do that before we start.
I thought they were going to give him the sternum rub.
Well, you holding, dog? You got some?
On
I
some
don't have it now,
sidelines,
but I'll order some.
You keep that thing on you?
on some football sidelines, people have it before the game. Just like you'll see right before kickoff, people will just be walking around.
Athletes are so.
There was a video of Josh a couple of years ago. They're up like 35-14. He's going out there to take the knees, and he rips some smelling salts before he goes on the field to knee the ball 3 times.
He's an
And
ad, bro. That's the only way he can feel anything now.
And now that I think about it, I haven't seen him do it anymore. But before the Cowboys got rid of Zeke, especially maybe like after his first year, every game you would catch Zeke doing it right before the game started on the sideline. He'd have the smelling salts.
It's awful. It hurts.
It does.
It feels like it's melting.
Does it
the
make
front
your
of
eyes
brain.
water? I don't like when my eyes water.
It makes me want to take a
It
nap.
makes your eyes water. Yeah.
Wait, it has a reverse effect on you?
I'm like, oh, like well, you know when like, yes.
Oh,
I'm
that's
like, I'm
wild.
done. That was my
It's-
workout for the day. Was just smelling the salts.
So you like straight up got ADHD, right? Like Ritalin makes you chill out. Like
No,
it doesn't have
no.
opposite effects.
Never undiagnosed, maybe. I don't know.
Okay. I'm learning a lot about you fast, Joe.
As the weekend finished, there were some things very true about fantasy. Passing is back. That's one. So put that in.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Probably the only thing I've been right about this year.
You did call it and we said because it was special teams the first 2 seasons. We were like,
Yeah.
all these teams are too afraid. They don't know how to play with inside the 20s. Also, this kickoff thing, they're gonna have to modify as well.
It's not
Like,
working.
It's not working. Like I think it's
You
gonna.
should have put him back further.
They're gonna scoot him back, and I think the goal line is gonna end up being like a weird out of bounds, start at the 40 kind of thing, where there's incentive to put it in play. Like it's just not working.
Yeah.
What they need to do is if it's catchable and the guy doesn't return it, start on the 15. If he catches it and doesn't return it, start on the 15.
Even if you're like 109 yards away, like in the very back of
Oh,
the
you
end zone?
just wouldn't. No, you wouldn't catch it.
Okay.
If it's catchable, like the front half of the end zone, you should start at the 15. And if you need it, and then if it's a touchback, it's the 25.
I don't hate that.
Yeah, like Harbaugh said, he goes, so all we're doing is giving them the 30 instead of the 25. He goes, yeah, we'll just keep kicking out of the end zone.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah, like, it's not enough. Like you said, you really make it the 40.
Make it the 40. And
Yeah.
I don't think you can do it mid-season, but
No,
next year,
definitely not.
yeah, make it the 40. Make it the 40. Passing is back, which means wide receiver value is up unless you play for the Los Angeles Rams. All right, boys, help me recap the season, the weekend that was. Who are your big standouts, and who are the guys we should be looking at?
I got one thing to start. Dare Agumbawale. He's the running back on the Texans.
All right, first of all, good job.
Yeah, crush that.
That was
You could have got us in big trouble right
a
there.
ton of confidence right there.
He's the running back on the Texans, and it looks like he's better than Cam Akers, more involved in the passing game than Cam Akers. And Joe Mixon, it was released that his return date is still to be determined.
Yeah.
So
I did
he
not see
probably won't be back soon.
Well, that's closer than Christian McCaffrey, so that's good.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I do believe if you need a running back, Dare Agumbawale is a good pickup. And, I mean, dude, he loves playing football, just runs people over. So
If
I
you can,
would add him.
if you can spell that correctly and find him on waivers, like I agree, that is a good pickup.
Ogumbawale. Agumbawale.
Put
Can you
nightmare.
language of origin?
Yes.
Use that in a sentence, please?
Ogumbawale.
I did an A. instead
Dare
of an O.
Agumbawale. His
Got
sister
super
plays
close.
in the WNBA. Arike Agumbawale.
She's fantastic too. Yeah.
Yes, she is.
How do you know that?
Because she got left off the Olympic team, and then she lit up the Olympic team in the All-Star game.
She's on Seattle.
Now, I'm not going that far.
I don't
know what teams.
That sounds right.
Are you guys part of the 10% that stayed with the W after Caitlin Clark got out of the playoffs?
I don't
When
even
their
know.
viewership fell 90%.
I have watched 0 WNBA games in my entire life,
Same.
and it will probably stay that
I
way.
cannot.
I can't even watch basketball games because they're all soft.
There's a couple prize picks parlays that I
She's
put on there.
She's on the Dallas team. Nice try, dude. Come on.
They don't let you take. They don't let you take the unders anymore in the WNBA on Prize Picks, and that,
Only
Everyone's
overs.
line is 0.5. I don't get it.
yeah, like that broke my heart. And speaking of soft NBA, it was super soft this week when I saw LeBron James and LeBron James Jr. out there on the court together, and it was the best thing ever of all time, and it made me miss my dad.
I knew you had a soft side, Fred.
Yeah, for the greatest athlete of all time, Bronny Jr.
He's going to go 0 for 7 in his first game and sent to the G League.
Three blocks, and then
Yeah.
the number one in defensive player of the
Three
year.
blocks, 2 steals, 12 rebounds, 0 for 7 from the field.
Cool. I mean,
Yeah.
those you can play in the association
Yeah.
with those with that.
If he could score like 8 points, he could be Draymond Green.
He's going to be the 40-year-old Rajon Rondo. No shooting, only passing.
A lot of triple
I don't hate
singles.
it.
A lot of triple singles coming from Bronny.
I mean, where you got him in the draft, like that's kind of good though.
Oh,
right?
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Because he should be playing overseas.
Juju Smith-Schuster's 130 receiving yards are his most in game since 2020 season, and that was like a playoff game where they really put effort into it. Is he the guy in Kansas City moving forward?
I can't buy that.
I mean, if you can get him for – I mean, if you have like fab money, which is the free agency bidding dollars, if you can get him for like nothing, I'd pick him up, give it a shot.
Yeah,
If you-
don't use your waiver priority on him either.
yeah,
if
I
he's
would not
there
play him.
after waivers go through.
What's that? You want to know how many days it's been since he had a game similar to this? 1,422.
Well, it's because he has Todd Gurley's knees. I mean, he's just not.
That's rude. Give him back.
But no, a lot of the big names. I remember word for word. First thing I said last week was I got rid of Garrett Wilson, and he went off for 29 points. That hurt a little bit. It hurt, but that was partially because Aaron Rodgers threw the ball 54 times,
Yeah.
and that won't happen.
He was targeted 43% of the
It
time.
was 22 targets is out of control. He's always, I believe, since coming in the league, he's the most targeted receiver in the NFL, with just no real quarterback. So
Last week, the only receiver targeted more was Justin Jefferson.
on a percentage basis.
On a percentage
Okay.
basis.
So it must be something in London. I don't know. But, Ayuk was great. Kyle Pitts was good. We talked about Tucker Kraft last week to pick him up. He was really good. He was very
Dude.
solid. I believe tight end number 1 on the week.
Darnell Mooney, I believe, was good again. I was trying to pull up his stat
He
line,
had,
but
I believe 31
Same.
points.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins looked really legit. I definitely dropped enough of the "you like that" memes because I love that.
Naturally.
Dude, it's
Yeah.
so funny. No, the offense is back. If Flacco keeps starting, I like mostly all the skill players on the Colts.
From the texter, the guy targeted the most for games in London was Robert Saleh.
Nice.
There you go.
Woody Johnson was the U.S. ambassador over there in Britain forever. Like, all of his buddies are in the building. Robert Saleh embarrassed him in front of his buddies.
He goes, I'm getting rid of that guy.
Yeah.
He's done.
So you're supposed
Sorry,
to,
chaps.
you're supposed to lose that game. Like, you're supposed to lose to the San Francisco 49ers. You're supposed to lose to the upstart, undefeated Vikings who resurrected Sam Darnold. Like, why is he going to get fired after that one?
Right.
You should have been fired after you only scored 9 points against the Broncos and took an ugly L.
The Broncos will not have to worry about David Carr, mentioned earlier. He's out for a couple weeks. What do you got? Is Taysom Hill the dude?
No,
That
it's
was so
Spencer
dirty.
Rattler.
What?
It's going to be Spencer Rattler.
Taysom Hill's
Somehow
right
you
there.
still said David Carr.
Taysom Hill can't play football. He fractured his ribs.
Every quarterback in New Orleans is dead?
Well, they got so Spencer Rattler will be the starter. Maybe Jake Hayner.
It's
but
either
probably
performance-enhancing drugs, Jake Hayner, or Spencer Rattler. He got suspended last year for
PED
steroids.
Hayner.
Spencer Rattler can play.
What?
Yeah, he could go. He can go.
Have you seen him play football?
That's
In an
exactly who they need.
Did he
Dude,
go
in
to
an NFL offense?
Did he go to Arizona State?
No, he went to Oklahoma and then transferred to South Carolina.
Okay, that tracks. I do know who this is.
Yeah, he can go.
He's like he looks like a little smaller Blake Griffin.
No, I've never seen him play
Yeah, and
football.
he has a cannon, and he's fast.
Yeah.
He's gonna be.
He
I
can
think
go.
he's gonna be
Is
good.
he
He's
fast?
gonna get
In
a
the
ch- yeah. He's
Saints-
yeah.
in
He's
the
gonna get a
Saints
chance.
offense.
Is he
Yeah.
better than Drew Carr?
I would say
Can't
yes.
handle these names.
Yeah. Higher ceiling, lower floor.
That's a low floor.
Yeah. A late round rookie.
I mean,
Who
Spencer Rattler could
underperformed in
go out there and get like 2 points. He could go out there and get 2 points. It's a low
I think
floor.
we meant on the trajectory of his career, lower floor.
Oh.
Yes, he certainly will go out there next week and score less than David Drew Carr Breeze, whatever that guy's name is.
I mean, first of all, that was excellent.
That's good. Yeah. Well done.
Secondly, with all these quarterbacks doing weird stuff, the ever conniving Mike Tomlin said Russell Wilson's practicing. He's just heads up. He's full par.
I mean, how much did you guys watch a lot of that game? The Steelers Cowboys.
Oh,
I
yeah,
got
we
some
watched
of it.
every snap.
I got
Yeah.
some of it.
Fields, he looks bad. I don't.
Russell Wilson's used to wearing his pads this season. He's been wearing them every game.
Yeah. At least that. He's comfy in them.
Got to be fully
getting-
immersed in it.
He's getting used to the new jersey.
Although throwing that helmet on is going to hurt his neck for the first few days, so he probably should have been wearing that on the sideline too.
Yeah,
Can you
excellent point.
imagine? On the sideline, inactive, full pads and helmet.
I'm still a Justin Fields truther. I'm not putting him in my fantasy lineup, but I think he could be good enough to lead the Steelers in the playoffs.
I believe he had like 17 points last week.
It's fine.
But what if he gets one of those sweet Zach Cox like neck roll things to hold his helmet up? Like, that might be the smart move. I think it was
It
legit.
holds the helmet up for you. Just relax.
A little clip on it.
Another guy you could look at adding is Jalen Tolbert. He was involved in week 3 and 4, or sorry, he was involved in week 2 and 3. Week 4 didn't do much, and then this past week he was 7 for 87 and a touchdown. He looks like he's taken over Brandon Cook's role while he's on an injured reserve. He's been on the team for 2. This is his 3rd season. Hasn't done much yet, but I mean, against the Steelers, who are a good defense, he looked good. So I'd keep an eye on him for sure. And then
Tolbert can kind of go. Like
Yeah,
he
he's
can
fast.
go.
He's
Yeah.
fast. He's a burner.
Yeah, he's got some athletic ability. But what I like most about him is he looks like a Make-A-Wish kid that got to play for the Cowboys one day. Like he looks smaller than he actually is.
He's not big.
And he's got that giant helmet. Like his little bitty head and that giant helmet.
Yeah.
It looks weird.
he's
looks like-
6'1", 200 pounds.
He looks like a bobblehead, like made a wish to
Like
be a football
Funko
player.
Tolbert.
Yeah. Looks like a Funko Pop.
That was good. Just right when you hype a guy up, like Carson Beck talking about how great he was, you totally just come in with these slams.
Yeah.
We're like, you have a disease
He looks
or
funny.
Make-A-Wish kid.
Yeah, he looks funny.
Are you talking about Bobble Tobert?
Yeah, he could ball, but he looks very
Did I
funny.
hear you say Mike Tolbert a second ago?
Sure, why not? The running back for the Chargers?
He was a fullback for the Panthers.
Yeah, Butterball.
Oh, that works for me.
If you put a guardian cap on Tolbert, he'll just fall over.
So, as we were talking about the top running backs that you're going to find available, we talked about Gumbawale. I know Van's a fan of Roshan Johnson.
Let's go.
I still can't. Now, DeAndre Swift, I know, was really good again
Against the Panthers.
against the Panthers.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm buying it yet.
Who, DeAndre Swift?
Yeah.
I'm not buying it.
No.
You have to buy it.
No.
You have
If you have
DeAndre
him,
Swift?
If
Yeah.
you sell him,
no.
if you have DeAndre Swift, trade him for. Give me someone give me a name.
Anyone? And then pick up Roshan
Cordero
Johnson.
Patterson.
Not quite that low.
You talking about what wide receiver you're trying to
Yeah,
get?
either one.
Tolbert.
Swift. No, I'm not going for Tolbert.
Jeez, I don't know.
No one's got
If you
him on
can
the
get
roster.
Darnell Mooney for DeAndre Swift, I'm
I
doing
don't think anyone would do that.
Well, people need
You taking
running backs.
Rashid Shaheed?
James Conner.
Oh, I said that weird. Rashid Shaheed.
I would definitely take James Conner. Shaheed, probably not.
Wandell Robinson?
Hunt.
Not Hunt.
Ford at 10-8.
I'm probably taking Wandell too.
So you guys are better at, like, if I was to say a guy's going to get 5 catches, 60 yards, I'm sure you could translate how many fantasy points that would like go for in your
it's
in your
11.
mind.
It'd be 11
It would be
points.
11 points.
Okay, I would assume, and this is not being biased, I think Jalen Tolbert is a lock for 5 catches next game because you got Detroit coming in, and they have a very, very good offense. Now, I don't know who
It's a
could
pass
possibly pick him
funnel
up.
defense. So, yeah, no, I think five
Hey,
for
Dak likes
50, 60, 70 is
Yeah,
pretty
Dak
much
really
a
likes
lock. No, I totally agree with that. And
If you're willing to play a guy who's not going to get in the end zone, play that guy.
Tolbert also just scored. He out-targeted CeeDee Lamb.
Oh, watch till he freaks out about that.
He already,
that's
he
not
already,
gonna
he
go
already
well.
did.
Yeah.
It's because Dak threw a pick in 2 days in the same game.
That's
You hear about that?
That's so sad.
Two
First guy
interceptions.
ever.
2 interceptions.
Again,
Same
again,
game on 2 different days.
again, both before midnight.
Isaiah
But-
doesn't understand time zones.
Isaiah like legit doesn't
No,
understand
you
time
guys
zones.
at all.
You guys were just all asleep during that time of the game, so it definitely was both before midnight.
Well,
The
But
touchdowns
again,
were-
again,
it doesn't work in our time
zones
zone.
Yeah,
are
it's Eastern
different.
time.
It's the East Coast.
I know it's not our time zone.
It was
I'm going
1
off the
a.m.
Eastern time
It was
zone.
1 a.m. in New York.
Not when he threw the second interception.
My
Oh,
goodness.
yeah, okay.
Then he goes,
That's
where
a
I
weird
was,
hill to
it was
die on.
11. Yeah, so that didn't happen.
You know, I got a friend who lives in California. It was only 10 there.
Yeah, you guys all picked the Steelers, so let's laugh about that one.
I
Yeah,
picked the Steelers. I just want
Cowboys
TJ Watt to
better
give me
win
some
the
fantasy.
yeah, I'll hit a nerve there.
I will pick against the Cowboys a lot. Just
Statistically,
wait,
it makes
dude.
sense.
Yeah, just they're going to lose so many games in this next stretch of 5 in a row
But they have,
against playoff teams.
but they do some cool stuff like throw
A
multiple
Make-A-Wish kid into the wide
interceptions.
receiver room.
Lead the league in passing.
Yeah.
Little slight stuff.
I
Little
think
stuff like that.
another guy you can look at targeting is Romeo Dobbs. He was suspended by the team for not showing up to practice.
Loser.
He was probably dropped, and then he was activated again this morning. So he will be at the game. He'll be allowed to go to the game,
Yeah.
and he will probably be playing.
They're going to play him.
We need some help.
Packers pass catchers. I mean, the ones that are, Dobbs, Wicks, Reed, Kraft. I still like all of them. Wicks wasn't great. Watson's still going to be out for a while. So Jordan Love, he's slinging it, turning the ball over. He's the Jameis Winston right
I
now.
love it so much.
I'm good for
When
it.
we get back from the break, I tell you about this cat named Matthew Wright. It's 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to 2 Men On, where Simon Gay updates you on the Mets score.
6-0. 2-run double. Pete Alonso thrown out at home because he's slow.
What inning are they in?
They're going to the top of the 8th.
Oh, you're done for, Philadelphia.
That's it.
It's over. Sorry for you.
They were a magical 9th inning away from this being it.
And they're not. They got to face Jose Quintana tomorrow, who's been really good to end the year. So
That's
good luck.
not a thing I'd think I'd hear out loud.
I didn't either.
Quintana being good
He had a really good last 4 or 5 games.
It's like they got rid of DeGrom. They got rid of Scherzer.
Sold.
They got
sold.
They got rid of Verlander.
And it worked.
And now they're just like a bunch of rogue weirdos starting for them now, and they're crushing it.
Them and the Tigers. Like, how did you guys all get here?
Hey, the Tigers got the same game plan as the Baltimore Orioles. They just drafted 100 dudes that look like they've been cloned from a California surfer boy.
All named Connor.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're all blonde hair with a really bad mustache.
it's wild, dude.
It's the Cell Report with the Gay Boys. Talking about the position of quarterback. Justin Fields.
I'm over him.
Yep.
Yeah,
I like him. I believe in him as a football player, but
Who
looks
would
bad.
who would have started him in a 1 quarterback league anyways?
I was in a few leagues, but he was starting.
Oh wow. You're gonna let me into
Actually?
those leagues next year?
Well, he scored 20 something the week before.
He would
scored
run
7
it.
He scored 17
Yeah.
last week, so he has done well the last 2 weeks.
If he's my second quarterback in a 2 quarterback league, I'm not mad at that.
No, I love that.
CJ Stroud.
I'm victory lapping that so
Fine.
hardcore. Like we were just so out on CJ Stroud. We're like, there's no way he can do this. He has scored 15 points every week.
Drafted us at the quarterback 5.
Pat
Yeah,
Mahomes
he's been
drafted as the
horrible.
quarterback 4. Same thing. Mahomes is of course, one of the greatest of all time. But right now, not even a top 10 quarterback right now.
It's a
Nico-
bummer.
Nico Collins looks to be out for a while, so I mean,
I saw day to day.
No, moved to week to week.
good time to make a move if you can make a move there. Moving to the running back position, you were talking about DeAndre Swift.
I hate him.
I would try to trade him for a wide receiver or James Conner, like you said earlier.
Trade him for an injured Cooper Kupp or Nico Collins. If Collins is week to week, I think you may be able to swing that. You're trying.
I'm literally going to try that tonight in 2 leagues.
I have him, so just shoot me a text.
The Kupp could work because he's on bye. He's going to come back. Maybe they need a running back. He's coming off 2 20-point games. I'm trying to sell him. I mean,
Send him for Puka.
Puka's out a month.
Cup could be out a month.
And this is kind of the same message for guys who, if you believe in Swift, keep him. That's don't hear that. I'm telling you, just get rid of him no matter what. But when guys play really well, like right now, Jamar Chase scored 41 points. If someone comes to you and goes, I'll give you CeeDee Lamb and DeAndre Swift for Jamar Chase, you do that. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you need to always analyze the guys you have, sell them high. Like Garrett Wilson, you might be able to get someone who believes.
Right.
I wish I waited one more week to trade Garrett Wilson. I'm still happy with the decision I made because he's not going to have 22 targets every week. But as guys are scoring really high points, you try to capitalize on that because you can get people to overpay for you guys.
Brian Robinson Jr.
I'm in.
He's the better B. Robinson.
Mm-hmm. It's a bummer, too.
He's like the 4th guy in a 4-headed backfield there for the Washington Guardians.
No, he's
so much more
the
talented.
top guy, and it's just him and Eckler. The only reason McNichols was involved is because Eckler had a concussion.
I was counting Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
And McNichols got in because the Washington Commanders won by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I mean, Brian Robinson had 7 carries and scored twice. So you can count on him scoring. Their offense is ridiculous right now. I mean, they just beat up the Browns. The Browns' offense is horrible. Their defense is really good. But they play the Ravens, so we'll see how that goes.
I didn't think it would be this early in the year, but I'm excited that we can all turn on Tank Bigsby. He's not the hero you boys said he was going to be.
What do you mean?
I think he's far better than I ever imagined.
Sell him.
Yes. He might also just be a better running back.
I was
than
gonna say, he had
Trevor
28
or Travis
points.
Etienne.
Yeah, ETN was
I would trade him,
was fourth running back last
He
year.
had 6 carries.
No.
For the
The
league.
season, he was the 4th best running back last year, correct?
Top 5, yes.
And he just vanished.
He caught a couple passes, but Tank is looking like a much better runner.
Etienne did get hurt again, so Tank Bigsby might start this week, and they play the Bears, who are not
So
good.
you don't think sell high on him, you think hold on to him?
No, I would sell him.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, if you can't sell him, you can probably start him this week.
He's
If
probably
no one
available in
wants
your
him.
league, too. I'm seeing in the 30s percentage-wise. Not playing a ton of snaps, But if ETN's out, as Simon would say, Bigsby to the moon.
Cool little rushing touchdown for Xavier Worthy, but he doesn't look like he's going to be the guy to replace Rashee Rice. You going to try to sell him?
I think they're going to use him like a little tiny Taysom Hill.
Yeah,
They
he's
get to
just
do all
not the
stuff.
guy to get 15 targets. I mean, he's going to get the ball a few times.
Scheme touches.
The only reason that he
Hang on to
had a
him.
good week is because he scored a rushing touchdown. But I mean, I wouldn't trade him.
Bye weeks are coming up. You're going to need a guy like him that you could shuffle in and out of the lineup.
He's on bye week right now.
Yeah.
He's going on bye week 6.
Biggest surprise I think I've seen this year at the wide receiver position is Chris Godwin. He's like a top 5 guy or something in PPR leagues. Are you going to try to move him or are you going to hold on to him all year like it's true?
I'll hold him. If you could have sold him a few weeks ago, because I believe he had a touchdown in the first 3 games. So he's not typically a touchdown guy. Right now, just hold him. Enjoy the stability of a guy who's not gonna. He's not gonna get you 2 points.
He's got Laser Mayfield thrown to him. You gotta keep him.
Laser
Sweet
Mayfield.
nickname. I super like that. I hate that I hadn't heard that before. Marvin Harrison Jr.
Oh gosh, he's so frustrating.
I love the guy, but I'm loving that this is happening.
I'm a Cardinals truther. I think he's going to be like season long. He's going to be fantastic. I'm super high on Kyler Murray before the season started. He's looking legit.
Yeah, I think it's just going to take him a little bit to get used to it because he's not the fast guy like Malik Neighbors is. He's just a super good route runner. He's a big dude. He's just going to have to get used to it because he's playing against good corners now. He didn't play against very many good corners in college.
It happened so fast where he scored 1 point in week 1, and I said,
Fluked out
I said
week
this
2.
is what was going to happen. It's going to be unpredictable. Then he scored 29, and I remember Zay going, hey, like, look at that, big game. I'm like, you're right. It can definitely happen. Then he went 17, 15, and 5. It's a lot of unpredictability for a guy you drafted really high. He's going to be amazing in his career, but you're going to have these ups and downs.
Pittman, Downs.
Oh, man.
Start him if Flacco's the quarterback.
Okay.
Bench him if he's not.
Agree.
You may be able to play Pittman either way if you have to, but I would not play Downs if Richardson's the quarterback. I mean, Pittman was bad with Richardson, but he's the main guy. So if anyone's going to be good, it's going to be him.
When we get back from the break, we go from selling to buying. It's 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. had Darius Slayton in your starting lineup, and I'll call you a liar.
Uh-huh.
I had Joe Flacco on the bench.
I traded for Joe Flacco in a dynasty league
You
for one game. I had
You like
both
his
my,
futures?
No, both my
You're,
quarterbacks
you're
were on.
buying them
Both my
Flacco
quarterbacks
futures?
were, Hurts and Herbert were on bye, so I had no choice.
I swear, bro, I had the Giants defense, okay? No, you did not. You did not do that. You're a liar. The 49ers signed a new kicker. His name is Matty Wright. Used to ride around town, kick field goals at night. Okay. Who are you picking up off the waiver wire, boys?
Tank Bigsby, because I'm an ETN owner in 2 leagues. So I need that security.
Jalen Tolbert, if he's there.
If
That's
Malik Neighbors is out, I'd go Darius Slayton from the Giants. Highly targeted.
What about Tracy?
Tyrone Tracy?
If Singletary's out, yeah, for sure. But if Singletary's there, he's not going to get any
The
carries.
tough part is where you're doing this on Tuesday night. You're going to go through Wednesday morning. You have probably no practice reports outside of the teams that are playing on Thursday. You're not going to know where these guys are at. You kind of have to call your shot. With the unpredictability of it, don't make them a high priority. Guys like Jalen Tolbert, where he has a little bit of a longer window to be successful, someone you definitely can go after.
Let's say you're sitting with priority, Bigsby or Juju.
Bigsby, because
yeah.
Juju before yesterday had 2 catches all year. So again, I like him, but I think even if ETN plays, Bigsby has been useful. So that's why you prioritize him.
I mean, it doesn't happen in the league that often, but Juju's like a post-hype sleeper, right? Because he's a super talented guy, had to deal with a bunch of injuries, had to deal with some bad quarterback play. Is this the Juju that everyone thought he was going to be? Like, is he completely healthy? Is he got his head right?
I think Juju's a better number 2 than a number 1.
Oh, yeah.
He was so good behind Antonio Brown. Then he was the guy, and he was And then he kind of fell off. I mean, he's been on the Chiefs before, and he wasn't really that good.
All right.
So I'm not really expecting anything right now.
What's up with my boy Gardner Minshew?
Oh, he's done.
He's benched.
Forever?
Sorry. I know. It's not what you want to hear as a
But he won't name the
Washington.
starting quarterback because they're going to have a quarterback battle in the middle of the season because Antonio Pierce is a genius.
Well, I know who's going to win that quarterback battle. And he's
Gardner
in black.
Minshew.
He's in black and yellow right now. Welcome to the Raiders, Russell Wilson. Welcome to the Steelers, Devontae Adams.
Welcome to the Raiders, Kenny Pickett.
So Aiden O'Connell's not the truth, guys?
Oh.
Devontae Adams actually wanted him to be the starting quarterback. He told the whole staff that, and they didn't do it.
I can't believe they didn't draft any quarterbacks, right? Nobody. Yeah, they didn't draft.
No, they
anybody.
didn't draft
Couldn't
anybody.
believe it.
I'm a big AOC guy, but like in politics,
Got it. Okay.
not
Yeah.
football.
See what he did there.
Yeah, stick with Garner. He's a better quarterback.
Zamir
Yes.
White is out. Amir Abdullah saw his snap percentage jump. Is that a thing?
No, but I like Madison. I think Abdullah had like 7 touches.
Zamir White's just bad. I mean, he's looked so bad. I don't think they're going to give him the opportunities anymore. I think he lost that. I think he lost the opportunity to be giving carries.
The Bills are giving opposing running backs the most points through the first 4 weeks of the season. Help me pronounce this cat's name again.
Daria Gumbawale.
Over Cam Akers, but it didn't really seem to matter. They both had like 11 points or whatever. I don't think I'm as bought in as you are.
It's if Mixon's out.
And
Ogunbowale is the guy you want.
And Mixon his timeline is still undetermined. So, I mean, I wouldn't spend money on him if you have Fab, but I would pick him up if he's there. I mean, it depends on your situation because you may have a team where everyone's on bye or everyone's hurt. You may have Mixon and you have Akers. You should pick up a Gumbawale instead because Akers isn't that great
That's what I got Mixon in 2 leagues. That's what I've been rolling with. I've been dropping and picking up Cam Akers every week because no one else wants him unless you're a Mixon owner.
So your spot start for running backs, it's probably Tank Bigsby. If Jonathan Taylor's out, look for Trey Sermon again. Go with the Gumbawale with Mixon's out. It's very injury based. I think you can probably play Roshan Johnson. He'll probably fall in the end zone again, and he's facing Jacksonville, pretty brutal defense. And if for some reason Swift can't figure it out, Roshan's a good option.
The Falcons wide receiver is 8th this past weekend. Do you forecast that again?
Didn't you start? You started Ray.
I started Ray McLeod in a league, maybe 2 leagues, and he got 12 points in PPR.
Kyle Pitts existed.
Yeah, I benched him, and I lost because I benched him.
So I benched him in every single league. because I'm like, I'm not. If he scores 0, I cannot live with the fact he's in my lineup. If he scores 10 to 15 on my bench, I'm like, you want your guys on your bench
Fine.
to do well.
Yeah, sure.
You're like, but if they score 0 in your lineup, you can't live with it.
And I'm benching him again so everyone can play him. You're welcome.
I will also be sitting Kyle Pitts again.
It was Kirk Cousins like he was at the poker table though, because he was just dealing.
Yeah, but he looks like he's in pain every time he lets go of the ball.
Yeah.
Every time he lets go, he's like, ooh.
Give him
Just
some
looks like
smelling salts. Should be fine. We got one more before we end the 5 o'clock hour. We're here at Duke City Cages talking the world of fantasy football with the Gay Boys. It's 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal. football. We went through ads. We went through the waiver. We went through possibilities for your team. Boys, recap the weekend and talk about what we should do before tomorrow.
Give your team a good look. Your guys who performed really well. Always try to move guys. There's no when you're, send someone a text, give them a call. Someone in your league who you haven't talked to in a while. They're all your friends, or they might
just
be.
gas them up.
Just gas them up. Be like, just try to make some moves.
And if you're struggling and your defense isn't doing great, look at streaming defenses. I do that in like all my leagues. I don't just keep one defense all year. I pick them up. I play matchups with that. It helps you out with so you don't get a negative 15 against the Chiefs or whoever you happen to be playing. The same thing with kickers. If you have a kicker and the team's not kicking very many field goals, switch them out. Get somebody else. I mean, the worst thing that happens is someone else picks up your kicker. Who cares?
Yeah, just whoever's playing the Panthers, grab the kicker and the defense.
You need a quarterback this week. Kirk Cousins
Yeah.
is facing the Panthers, and there's a good chance he's available.
In the league where I have a defense, I always just pick up the defense that's playing against the other team's quarterback. So whoever they're starting at their fantasy quarterback, I just pick. And I'm like, maybe I'll get a 2-for-1 here. Maybe it'll work out for you.
That's
boy.
crazy.
I do it all the time.
That's
it's
crazy
my go-to
behavior.
move.
I've never seen
And
that.
the Houston Texans play the Patriots, so you have a good defense you can pick up there because Drake May's going to struggle the first game. Pretty much guarantee it. The Ravens defense won't be available because they're one of the best. Maybe the Colts defense because you're playing the Titans. The Titans suck. Will Levis is a walking meme. Who else we got? That's really it. I guess, you don't want to play the Giants defense. Bengals looked really good last week.
The panic button has been pressed on Breece Hall. The panic button has been pressed on Josh Allen. The panic button has been pressed on Deebo Samuel. Get rid of all those guys. True or false?
I wouldn't get rid of Josh Allen.
You would or wouldn't?
Wouldn't.
I wouldn't get rid of any of those guys. If you can sell, you're probably not
going to get anything for Breece Hall right now. You're not going to get anything for Deebo. You can't sell guys like that right now because they're low. It's like selling Mark Andrews last week.
I mean, do you think
no
Breece
point.
Hall's hiding an injury? Because he looked like a freak athlete last year. Like he put that team on his shoulders and carried them to a 500 record, like all by himself.
I think their offense is just that bad.
Eek.
Their offensive coordinator is an idiot.
Hackett's so bad. He was a lot of people here in Albuquerque are Broncos fans.
Yeah.
You remember when Hackett was with Russell Wilson? That was like the year when they made the trade. It was going to be the most exciting thing, and it ruined Wilson's legacy.
Speaking of trade,
Wilson ruined Wilson's legacy.
That's fair. That's fair.
Speaking of trade, Devontae Adams, does he get moved this week?
I don't know when it's going to happen. I think he does get moved.
They can't just do quote unquote any deal.
Probably goes to the Jets.
The only team offering what they're asking is the Kansas City Chiefs.
They offered a second?
Yep. Second and a player or something else. Everyone else is giving thirds. No one's giving him what they want, but they are hesitant to give him to the Chiefs because they're in the same division.
Yeah.
He's going to get traded. If he's on your team, you can't cut him. There's no chance you can cut him because if he goes to the Chiefs, he's going to be the best receiver in fantasy pretty much.
If he goes to the New Jersey Jets, he's going to be the best receiver in fantasy.
Yeah.
Rodgers will throw him 20 a game.
I do not think he'll go to the Saints because Derek Carr just got hurt.
100% agree.
And he has to approve of all of these trades. He has to make it happen. Unfortunately for fantasy is he will be ruled out, so you can put him on your injured spot because they're saying he's injured. I don't know how hurt he actually is. Maybe his feelings are hurt. Oh, yeah, there you go. So
yeah, I don't think he's actually hurt anymore.
No. So, and then Amari Cooper, probably a guy you can trade for. He's going to be cheap. He gets targeted. Wherever he goes, he's going to be in an infinitely better situation.
I saw a stat that said 45% of the balls thrown at him are uncatchable.
Yeah. So he's top 5 in targets in the NFL. Catchable targets, probably bottom 5, but
Wild.
He could go to the Bills. Devontae could too. Obviously, you love that. Anyone who goes over there will be.
Devontae will approve any trade if the Raiders go to him and say, "Hey, we're just going to fully guarantee the rest of this year to you right now. Like, we're just going to pay you right now." He will take all of that and go.
Yeah.
Like it's not.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't go to the Panthers or the Browns, I don't really think he cares.
He's owed so much money. I think it's 34 and 35 million and 25 and 26. Yeah. That's the biggest thing. As I just said, the Bills can't afford him.
The only way that they can really trade him away is if they keep some of that money, or if the Raiders cover that money.
I mean, the Raiders eat that money. They'll get better picks. They'll get better players in return. You could probably get somebody.
It's the only way you're getting a second. That's how the Bills got a second for Stephon Diggs.
Yeah,
They're like,
money.
hey, we'll eat his contract for 2024, but you need this. And that second round pick will probably be a starting wide receiver next year.
Yeah, agree.
I think if I'm a team going for Devontae Adams, I'm a team in the mix. So the Chiefs track. The safest move is the Minnesota Vikings.
Safest move for what? For Devontae Adams?
For the Raiders. You get them out of your division.
Yeah.
They're in the mix right now. Do they forecast being in the mix for years to come? No. So if they can bring him in, put him opposite Jefferson, and then have the tight end come back. What's his name? Hawkinson.
Yeah.
You then have like a ton of talent moving forward.
If the Vikings get Devontae Adams the same week they get Hawkinson back, just give Sam Darnold the MVP right now.
so sweet.
Because he is going to eat.
He was bad last
All
week. By the way.
year.
Darnold was not good.
What?
Darnold was
Darnold did
horrendous
not
this
throw a
last week.
touchdown last
Got
week.
another win.
He beat the Jets.
Well, the Jets beat the Jets.
Oh, yeah.
Rodgers threw 3 picks. I
Jet-
think multiple pick sixes, 1 or 2. Ving
don't
Ginkel had
remember.
1. But the hardest thing is who can afford them, and it's such a small list. And how much money are they going to eat, and then who's willing to give up that draft capital for them? But everyone wants to see him play. We hate this. We hate this stuff. Seeing guys just holding out, doing this. Just get on the field. You're making $30 million.
He went there to play with Derek Carr, and Derek Carr's gone. Like, he shouldn't even – the second Derek Carr left, he should have just said, like, that's why I'm here, guys. Like, get rid of me, too.
Was it 2 seasons they played together?
I think just
I
one.
think it was just the one.
Yeah, just one season.
Because this is Carr's
Oh, yeah, second year.
Second
on
year on
Saints.
the
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Got an interesting stat here. CeeDee Lamb has 4 catches for 25 yards in the second half of all 5 games combined in 2020.
because all these teams are playing against them, and they're covering the whole offense to start the game, and they realize that everyone else is kind of trash. So they go focus on CeeDee Lamb, which is why Jalen Tolbert was good. Which is why Jalen Tolbert will continue to be good. Same thing with Rico Dowdle, who
So
had 87 yards
I
last
try to
week.
trade for Lamb. Steelers are a really good defense. I try to trade for CeeDee Lamb if you can.
Hey, boys, good day of football.
We started
talk.
talking about the Cowboys, and Zay started that commercial break a minute early.
Yeah. He was like, Zay was like,
minute late.
Zay was like, put Tolbert on your roster, but don't freak out until the second half because that's when he comes to life.
No, I told her to have a good game. And how you know it is because Dak went to him for the 3rd and goal, and he dropped it. And then he went right back to him again on the 4th and goal. So.
Isaiah just agreed with me, but started the sentence with no. Wild radio. That's my guy back there. Okay, boys, good job today.
Trade for Brees Hall. I'm serious.
Okay.
He will eat the Bills alive. I bet you he goes. I'm calling 20 points for Brees Hall this week, and then you can get him for very cheap because he's been very bad. I believe in the talent. I know we're kind of crapping on him earlier.
Same. Hope he turns it around because I got him in one.
He will.
20 points. Book it.
When we get back from the break, our Isham Dental soundbite of the day. It's 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal. Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to Two Men On. We're live at Duke City Cages. It's time for our Isham Dental soundbite of the day. Now, I haven't heard the Isham Dental yet. I'm excited. Don't forget ishamdentalabq.com. Get that exclusive offer, free exam and x-rays. I got to get a checkup.
What's going on, man? Is everything okay? Or it's just time?
Since I got diabetes and gave up carbs and sugar, my teeth feel stronger, and I want to know if that's an actual thing or if I'm just in my head about it.
Placebo. Yeah, it's
Could
placebo.
be. We don't know. Also, over here at Duke City Cages, we're like a block away from the old Marble Brewery.
Mm-hmm. For now. For a little bit longer, allegedly.
Been chomping at the bit to get over there. I'm worried about the teeth. So
I could have one real quick.
it'd be the last one you have over there.
Going out to our friends at Rio Rancho Event Center.
For Foreigner tonight?
Foreigner and Loverboy.
Jukebox Hero. Foreigner has only bangers.
Yeah. They got more hits than Ichido.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's our Isham Dental soundbite of the day.
There's the shotgun snap, the fake handoff, the quick throw at the goal line is deflected and it's intercepted on the play by Saunders. He runs the big man, the 10, near sideline 20, on the near sideline 30. Got a blocking from behind. The former Chief is taken down. The Saints big man got it on the ricochet at the goal line. That was a thick pick. That was a thick pick.
What?
That's our friend Kevin Harlan.
Very good.
Calling a interception by New Orleans Saints Kalen Saunders, who is
gigantic,
6'1", 324 pounds.
Yep.
Almost took it the length of the field on the Chiefs, and he said that was a thick pick. Kevin Harlan is the best in the business.
Do you remember when Gilbert Brown intercepted a pass one time for your Packers, and then everyone bought his jersey?
Yeah, I do.
That's going to happen here.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, he's gonna have a bunch of new fans. Thanks to Kevin Harlan, too. By the way, if you're not familiar with Kevin Harlan's game,
everyone is.
He's the best in the business.
Everyone is literally familiar with the best.
He should be doing every game.
There's zero people out there that don't know who Kevin Harlan is.
Hard disagree. Because most people are just like TV people. Like Kevin Harlan, he doesn't do football on TV very often.
For the listener of The Sports Animal, which carries Westwood One football,
correct. Yeah.
They all know Kevin Harlan.
I would hope so. And if they don't, like I said, he's the best in the business.
When we've had him on the show a few times, every time it's been in person, he's been great. He sits down and he goes, "So we're going to laugh today?" Yeah, Kevin, we're going to laugh.
You boys like to have a good time.
Yeah. Notice you have some drinks here.
He is the best, but I do think Mike Breen's bang.
Okay, very strong.
Might be the one individual specific goated call.
I don't know.
Bang is pretty sweet, but like all encompassing like talent. Kevin Harlan's the dude.
Yeah, and doesn't Kevin Harlan do the he's got it?
Yeah,
got it. Yep.
I want to know what love is. Cold as ice, jukebox hero, hot blooded. Waiting for a girl like you, urgent. Feels like the first time. Dirty white. But there are so many.
Yeah. Hit after hit after hit. People take them for granted. Like they're a pretty goated classic rock band.
I would say Foreigner is top tier and one of the final rock bands.
Mm-hmm. Still touring, still out here doing the damn thing.
And they're like classic New York rock band. Like they came up in New York City and obviously found success in the 70s, mid 70s. And then Isaiah, you're not aware of this. Rock and roll in the 80s got real gay.
Okay.
Rock and roll in the 80s.
Oh, I'm aware. I see the attire.
Yes.
The music videos.
There was a lot of like Nikki Sixx was a good looking fella in the 80s. The 90s, the culture went the complete opposite way. You weren't allowed to exist in that flamboyant lifestyle anymore.
Right. Started putting on flannels for some reason.
Yeah, for some reason.
Everyone started wearing flannels all of a sudden.
The which is the rock and roll I grew up with, which is fine. I enjoyed the grunge rock. And then when it started to swing back towards fun, Everyone, for some reason, thought Nickelback sucked, which, by the way, they did not. In the moment, they were very good. This Is How You Remind Me is an absolute banger. The Spider-Man soundtrack would have been nothing without Chad Kroger's Hero, but that was the death of rock and roll right then in 2002.
Okay, hard disagree. Rock has never been better than it is right now. The evolution is amazing to see.
Put some respect on Fallout Boy. Put some respect on Fallout Boy.
We said rock and roll.
Yeah,
we're talking about rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
Oh,
That's not rock and roll.
That's not rock and roll.
Well, sorry, I'm not that deep to know the difference. Fallout Boy and rock and roll are the same thing.
It's like a pop punk.
Yeah, it's pop punk emo.
Yeah. Emo. I would agree completely. If I were to describe it, I would say it's pop punk emo. And if you want, like if you super want, you can say alternative rock. And I will not argue, but I would not say rock and roll.
But Chris Daughtry
sucks. It's your uncle's favorite singer.
False.
He's got 0 bangers. Anyone who won a singing contest show is not a singer. He's produced by the label, and he's part of the mechanism. You want a really good example? Kelly Clarkson.
I had to Google Fallout Boy because I couldn't think of one of their songs.
They got the one, Sugar, we're going down swinging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one. Yeah. I think that's I'm pretty sure that's the only one I know.
All Boys, they got a list of bangers.
Oh, Dance. They did that one. They did that one.
They're not good.
Nah.
Also, I think they've not been good for some time.
That's a reach.
I don't know when they started. I'm going to guess 2000.
Yeah, sure.
I would probably guess all I know is they have one of the best songs for Madden. There's a Madden 05. You remember that? Madden 05, Madden 06, Dance Dance.
Well, no, I'm not psychotic. I definitely never had the sound on while playing Madden.
What?
Why would I do that?
Because that's one of the main things of the OG Maddens is the soundtrack.
No.
Oh, wow. When you're judging a great video game, especially a sports game, you're judging the soundtrack as well.
God, what song did I get burnt out on my last version of Madden? Green Day's American Idiot. Like every time you turned it on, it was American Idiot.
Oh, hold on.
Every page reload was American Idiot.
You're onto something here because they would have started at the top of the playlist because it's the A song.
Yeah.
Also, I think I'm into what Isaiah is saying right now because this band, Fallout Boy, got the Madden curse, just like everyone on the cover.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, so it's got to be a real thing.
Makes sense.
All right, history of Madden soundtracks. Here we go. So I just pulled up a Spotify playlist, which I think we're told not to talk about Spotify on the radio, but whatever, you guys get it. So I do remember Party Hard by Andrew WK being on a Madden game.
Same. Yeah, for sure. I had one.
I had a game where he was there.
I don't remember which one, but I was on that one.
And I remember the controversy because he was supposed to be like anti the establishment. He was supposed to be, it's for sellouts is what it is. Okay, update. I did not know that Aw Naw by Nappy Roots was on a Madden soundtrack.
I remember that one. I do remember that one.
But Aw Naw by Nappy Roots is an absolute rap rock collab banger.
Sure. What happened to those guys before and after?
Drugs, I would assume. Yeah. Look it up.
I'll pass.
I'd assume it's a good assumption.
I was going to a Roots concert in El Paso, Texas.
Like a tribute to the miniseries Roots?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, LeVar Burton was there signing autographs.
Yeah, Lawrence Fishburne was in the sequel.
So we are standing in line for the Roots.
Who?
The Roots.
Who's standing in line?
You know, Black Thought, Questlove, the bleeping Roots.
So who is standing in line?
I was standing in line with a group of friends.
Did they have names?
When we lived in Las Cruces, Mexico. For their personal safety, after I tell you the story.
All right, so for the rest of the story,
we're not going with their names.
Their name was Kutan Kinte.
But anyways, Catherine, we're standing in line talking about how stoked we are to see the Roots. Because it's my first time to see the Roots. And then she starts like, hell yeah, I love the Roots. Oh, no, hell no. Y'all
That's Nappy Roots.
And I was like, oh, my God, I'm so embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed. And we had to wait in line after her antics for like 30 more minutes where people just staring
and you couldn't get
at
away from them because you were in line.
Yeah.
All right, I just pulled up a Spotify list of. It's called EA Tracks, the history of Madden soundtracks. Okay.
All right. Good Charlotte's The Anthem. You remember that one?
So
that was on one of my Maddens too.
So I saw Good Charlotte in concert.
Oh, sorry.
In Albuquerque, New Mexico. 7 years before I moved, 10 years before I moved here.
Okay.
It was at the Sunshine Theater. I was in town.
I like that place.
I was in town visiting a friend, and it was a Wednesday night concert. And you would think that some people would have been at that show.
Oh, bummer.
They were not. They were not. I'm going through it here.
Are You Gonna Be My Girl by Jet? That was definitely on one of my Madden games. All of these might be on the same one. And it's just,
well, all in all, it's on Madden 03. So that seems about right, which means it came out in 02.
That's about the time I was still playing video games.
I'm trying to name bands that people would recognize because a lot of these you've never heard of. You've never heard of Ink by Finch. That's not a. I mean, you've never heard of Streetcar by Funeral for a Friend,
right?
But I'm trying to find ones that people would know. Like 30 Seconds to Mars kind of sucked. They were on Coheed and Cambria is the worst band I've ever heard.
Take Me Out by Franz Ferdinand.
Take me out.
I got. No.
It sounds like Madden 03.
I said, don't you know?
That one.
Yeah, I wonder how
Shinedown. They super sucked.
I wonder how expensive it is to get your song on the Madden.
Oh, it's got to be super cheap because Tech Nine's on there. And
okay, so it was.
He's forever broke. 30 Seconds to Mars was booty. AFI was booty. Atreyu was booty. Audio Slave is booty.
So the replay value on getting your song on Madden, and then just the way it gets stuck in someone's head if it's catchy.
Yeah, but who is Keen? I don't know. Rise Against, is that a Christian rock band?
I think they find those groups that really want the publicity, but have enough money to pay their price.
Right. Was Tim Tebow ever on the cover? Because right in a row here, Rise Against, Saves the Day, and Taking Back Sunday all had songs on a Madden soundtrack. That seems like that's a very Christian initiated deal.
He may have been. I don't think he was.
Oh, hey, banger alert.
Okay.
Woman by Wolf Mother.
Oh man, that's
a banger.
Yeah,
I put that on the list.
That still holds up. Okay, it was 100% Madden 03. That's the Marshall Falk. Yeah, the Marshall Falk. That's got the anthem. That's got Party Hard. That's got Aw Nah. That one's got Fine Again by Seether.
Yeah, these are not good. A lot of these I've never heard. Yellow Card.
They had a couple bangers.
Disturbed is bad. I've seen them. They're very bad.
Madden, they basically they
is that the? Is that one?
Yeah, I believe that's correct.
Okay.
Everyone here, the world's burning. The world's on fire. But I know there's a fire inside all of you. That's what they are. They suck.
Man.
I feel like Madden, they get all their songs off SoundCloud. They just try to find gems. I want to show you a song you haven't heard. But
whoever the parent company owns a record label, and they just pick whatever songs they want to push for the next year.
Also, I figured out Isaiah's love for it because Diddy has got songs on here.
Oh,
so, yeah, that's what it is.
Diddy?
Which song of his?
He has a collab with Nas, N-A-S.
Nas.
Hate Me Now, featuring P. Diddy.
Oh yeah, that's Madden 10, Madden 11. I played that one the most.
Also, it looks like Breed by Nirvana is on here, so I don't believe it's what you're describing is just SoundCloud artists. Blur, Song 2 by Blur, which was a 90s banger. Machine Head by Bush, 90s banger. Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne. So it looks like there was a time. Oh, hey, here we go. Asher Roth made an appearance.
Oh, wow. Okay, good for him.
But even not his college song, something else.
Okay, American Idiot was on Madden 05. That's one with Ray Lewis on the cover. I had that one as well. I'm trying to find the last one I owned.
I don't know if I'm buying Isaiah's assessment that it was a must-listen video game soundtrack.
There's a few songs that are very, very catchy to the point where I would go on and just make it so only those songs played. Like on the Madden that had Larry Fitzgerald and Ben Roethlisberger on the front. I think it was Madden 10.
Okay.
Yeah, that one had 6 Foot 7 Foot by Lil Wayne, but it had the edited version. So the way that so many people were able to just rap that whole song and not say one cuss word was ridiculous.
Oh, that's funny.
I think of that song as the clean version because of Madden.
While you're giving me this assessment, I'm trying to find other, like, any things that might be recognized. I don't see them.
What do you mean?
Like, I was trying to find any other music. I've never heard of and I'm not trying to, like, kill the segment. I've never heard of the Heavy. I've never heard of the Knox. I've never heard of the Quim Mist. I've never heard of the Shelters.
Which Madden are you looking at?
This is all 300 whatever songs that have been on them, so I don't know which ones these are on. But
yeah, well, some years they go harder than others. Like a few years ago, they were getting complaints, so they let Lamar pick the playlist.
Well, they claimed they were getting complaints for the PR. Yeah, I'll buy that.
No, they were like, well, one thing, social media can be real and fake, but one thing it's real about is fan feedback. And there were fits because one year they just went all like instrumental music, like instruments. Like there were no lyrics on any of the songs, and people hated that.
Are you sure that they didn't claim there was an outrage, then do something, then exclusively release like a Madden soundtrack and make a bunch of money? Are you sure that didn't happen?
Yeah, I'm sure that the soundtrack.
So I'm
was
looking
terrible.
right at the Madden 20 soundtrack, and it's exactly what you're talking about. I just don't buy any of it. It's literally a CD they released.
One year was like just a DJ, right? And it was all
That's what
instrumental.
Isaiah was just saying.
Yeah, like, what year?
No. What I'm saying, there was a year where it was like literally like orchestra music, nothing but orchestra music. Like there were no lyrics. It wasn't hip hop. It was nothing. It was straight orchestra.
So it looks like the double dip here, which I now see the importance of what Isaiah is convinced of. On the soundtrack releases, they do have explicit lyrics. So the video game edited the Madden, NFL, whatever official soundtracks explicit. So there you go.
Yeah, Fred, I could be the first to tell you, Madden's soundtrack CD probably has 5 buys. No one goes for the soundtrack release. Anybody knows a Madden song, it's because of the video game. And if they want to listen to that song, they'll go find this song.
All I have is Hulu because I don't have anything else in front. Hulu, Spotify. This Madden NFL 23 official soundtrack has 9,000 saves.
9,000 saves.
When people are playing Madden, they could get nostalgic for like the old Madden soundtrack.
Yeah, that's the only reason somebody would ever buy it. It would be an older one.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure the Madden I played the most ever was Madden 02.
Okay.
With the one with Dante Culpepper.
All right.
And it only had 3 songs it played over and over and over again. It was the Madden theme by Pharoah Monch, and then Mathematics by DJ Primo and Yassine Bey, who you might know as Mos Def, and then Down for the Count by High Tech and Talib Kweli. Those songs on repeat, those 3 songs for hours and hours and hours and hours. That's what I was saying. It wasn't a DJ. It was only like 3 songs.
I feel like I just had TV on. Like I had 2 TVs
stacked on top of each other.
Yeah, like old school.
Yeah, that's pre-flat screen. If we're talking,
these are cathode
02, 03.
Yeah, 100%. And it was the thing when you went from like I think I had like a 30-something inch TV, and then I moved it over to the 40-something inch. Like my hand reactions weren't as quick as they were.
Sure.
So I went back to the smaller TV to keep being good at Madden.
Like when somebody would like walk by and bump the TV, they would like dislodge the coax.
Yeah.
You'd have to hurry up, like call a timeout and reach behind it and adjust the coax because you had coax to AV plugins and your AV plugin to your PlayStation, which if you were smart, it was like sitting on a pillow or something. Because if you walked by it and that CD would skip and you lost where you were in your season, you would throw that thing through the friggin' wall.
Mine was on a box fan laid on the ground facing up to put cool air on it because I wasn't ever going to chance it. Yeah, keep that thing safe.
Smart.
And then you have to do muscle memory to pause, because the screen goes out. And if you were like me and you accidentally ended up with a Sega Dreamcast secondhand somehow, you're playing NFL 2K, so it was just going to freeze no matter what anyways.
Miss me with that.
Yeah, 100%.
I wouldn't even play NFL 2K for free.
No, hard no.
No. I would sell it on a street corner, then save up to buy a PlayStation and Madden.
That was before EA had exclusive rights. So Culpepper's on the cover of Madden and Randy Moss is on the cover of 2K. And you're like, I don't know what to do. Yes, you do. You buy them both because you're victim to the machine.
Ooh, not me.
And also
Madden or GTFO.
Also, according to Isaiah, Florence and the Machine was a banger when it was on Madden's soundtrack. I couldn't name it.
Not exactly.
Whenever we get back, we continue from Duke City Cages. It's 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Sports.
Welcome back to the program where over the commercial break, the texter said, the Sports Animal text line, look at the NFL Street soundtrack.
Yeah, that's a cool deal.
So we pulled it up. I've heard of Nas and Little John.
Okay. Again, please put some respect on that guy's name.
So
Nas.
So here's the artist from the NFL Street.
Mhm.
What year did NFL Street come out? I'm going to have to find that for you.
So 04.
2004, you were correct. Baby D featuring Bone Crusher. Not familiar with either of
I
them.
don't know either of those two.
You know Bone Crusher. Bone Crusher made I Ain't Never Scared.
Same answer?
Mhm.
Yeah.
The Bravehearts featuring Nas and Lil Jon. Not familiar with the Bravehearts.
Please, again, Nas.
They run in a cool circle.
He made Illmatic, Fred. Come on.
DJ K Slay featuring here's my first hit. The 3-6 Mafia.
So good.
Little White, spelled WYTE, and Fraser Boy.
3-6 Mafia could go.
Okay. Now I've heard of this next band. Fuel.
Okay, this one doesn't fit so far in the theme. But you got a little bit for everybody.
Graph, GRAFH, not sure.
I don't know that. They might have misspelled giraffe.
Jack Frost, who I thought was just Christmas only,
Mm-mm.
but he's here on this one. Korn featuring Nas.
Okay, again.
Killer Mike, I'm familiar with. Now,
Love.
Mostly politically is why I know
Now,
him.
I'm going to have to go back and listen to this Korn featuring Nas song because I have no recollection of this, whatever.
Lil Flip.
Uh-huh.
Probably got lost in the category of Lils.
Yeah.
I was going to say, for him to be Lil back then and not be popular is
Missing out.
Yeah.
Does Lil Troy know he's stealing his gimmick? The Lost Prophets, I don't think I know, but Last Trim Home is the song, and that rings a bell some reason to me.
The Lost Prophets had like their little time to shine real quick.
Well, the shiners on this one were actually the Wild Bunch fan who had 2 featured songs, Harder in Our Life.
Also, I think the lead singer of the Lost Prophets, like, don't quote me here.
Okay.
I think he like ended up being like a really bad person, like to like younger women.
Welsh. They were a Welsh rock band from Pontypridd.
Okay, just making up words.
Singer and lyricist Ian Watkins. So, and then lastly, we mentioned the Wild Bunch who had 2 bangers. The X-Ecutioners featuring Be Real and Good Charlotte. Also, Good Charlotte was in the NFL soundtrack game at the time.
Executioners, they had their moment in the sun too. There were like 5 different DJs. They all played together, and I got a different feature in every song.
Now,
Lost Prophets lead singer Ian Watkins doing 29 years imprisonment for multiple sex offenses.
I don't like that.
Very gross,
Just to
very
make sure
gross.
we're covering all of our bases, I also pulled up the soundtrack to NFL Street 2
Uh-huh.
because I want to make sure we're celebrating those that deserve to be celebrated at a time like this. Mass and Diddy, so you have them. MOP, which is
Love MOP.
they're on there twice. A band,
They're the mash out posse, Fred.
Young Woon, DMX, Lil Flip, and David Banner
Oh,
put out something called Tear It Up.
I like Dark Man Xavier.
Yin Yang Twins and Homeboy, BWOI Boy. And then I believe this is what Isaiah meant when he talked about bangers on soundtracks. Sum 41's No Reason
Oh, yes.
was here.
Some of these guys stick out pretty hard.
Now, I'm a guy who likes to celebrate Albuquerque, and I'll do it every single time I get a chance. I'll do that by telling you that if you're interested in hearing an exhibit partnered with Kerry Hilson, you can on the NFL Street 2 soundtrack with Hey Now, Mean Muggin'.
What is Kerry Hilson?
I think the 4th member of Destiny's Child.
Hmm.
So, Slow Drain by the X's, no clue. And
There's
there's
solid features.
Drowning Pool and Papa Roach also here. And then standalone is Nas with Disciple.
And
Don't
also,
skip over Royce the 5'9", one of the most underrated lyricists that exists.
I did skip over whoever that is.
wow.
Isaiah?
Anyways, I found the Madden that I was complaining about that was absolute worst.
Okay.
It was Madden 13. So there's like no lyrics on that playlist. At least majority of the songs, and it's all like this classical Madden, like the type of music they play when they're having one of those documentaries about a 90s team and they're showing the highlights in slow motion. It's just like it all sounds like that, and it drew huge complaints. So from that point on, they started putting a lot more hip hop in the Madden playlist, and they'd have your rock, but they had to start switching up the playlist a little
So
bit.
Colin O'Malley, I'm actually familiar with him. He's the composer you're talking about here. He also did a ton of Disney stuff and made like all of those like animated, like instrumental onlys, like sad music for a sad character thing. Yeah. And then they shoved him into some Star Wars stuff after after John Williams was like, hey, I'm only doing different iterations of the Imperial Death March now or whatever.
Right.
So I believe he's doing well.
It definitely sounds like a Star Wars. 10 out of 10 times that would make sense to me. That playlist gives a lot of Star Wars vibes. It's just not good for a football game.
The Madden 13 soundtrack was so poorly received in subsequent video games, they added music. So there is a soundtrack.
It looks as if he also did NCAA 12 and 11.
Yep.
So there you go.
It's a run right there.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, boy had some talent. He also did the comeback album for Boys to Men.
Well, I mean,
wow.
Piece de Resistance.
Yeah.
My goodness.
If you're going to have a feature,
Mhm.
let's go.
You're just, by that point, they're just men, right? I mean, they're just call them the men. They're not in transition
Men
anymore.
to men?
They're full-grown men. They're just men now.
And it's just them, like before every concert, they just give like a real heartfelt speech to the other men in attendance.
Uh-huh.
They're like, we need to be the fathers we never had.
Hey, look, guys, we got to split this concert a little bit early so we can beat traffic. We got a lot of choring to do tomorrow. We're the men.
Who's out there drinking responsibly? Who's considering they got an 8 a.m. Zoom call tomorrow? That's what's up.
Gary Hilton knock you down with Kanye West. Come on. Banger.
Never a Kanye guy. Never a Kanye guy.
Personality-wise, he definitely does not track as your kind of dude.
Mm-mm.
But musically, come on. There's got to be at least 5 songs.
Yes, there is. When he did what was the name of the album for
College
Common Sense, the one that had Go on it. There were some bangers on that album.
Also, Carrie Hilton, as Isaiah referred to her, so prominent that her name is Carrie Hilson.
Yeah, that's what I said.
2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
Dirty Boys.
back to the program. Manny Machado tried to kill a guy. I don't know if you saw that.
Took off his skate and tried to stab a guy.
And then they came out of the closet, and the baby looked at me.
That was awful behavior all around. Like you're in LA.
Oh,
And like when you're in LA and you're a Dodgers fan, you know you don't mess around.
hey, I'll meet you outside.
Cool. Yeah. Cool, bro. Yeah, sure you will. Sure your manager and your handlers and your PR team will let you just walk out into the parking lot and fight a guy where there's 1,000 iPhones around you. Yeah, that's gonna happen.
A reporter asked Mike Schilt, who's the manager of the Padres, they said, you think Manny Machado had intent to hit Dave Roberts with that throw last night?
Yeah.
And Schilt says, no, quote, Manny is an exceptional arm talent. I think he proved it on that triple play.
Yeah. That's the first thing I said. By the way, Dave Roberts, super soft.
Yes.
Coming out saying that he threw at him and he could do better and learn. Manny Ramirez would have smoked you with a baseball from there.
So stupid.
That's so dumb.
Dave Roberts is fortunate to have a job.
And the best one. Like, you get to be the Dodgers coach? Like 100 wins a year? Like, if you're healthy, you're probably the World Series favorites. Like, how does he get this job? And he's so unbelievably 6,000 thread count soft.
Major League Baseball is doing a really good job with 45 added cameras to all these playoff games and every single microphone being snuck every single place.
Mm-hmm.
You see the Jesse Winker, like when he got all of that one going around the bases and the fireworks going off.
Yes.
And he's telling the world.
Yes.
There's Isham Dental sound bites for years.
Yes.
It's playoff baseball is what makes baseball the sexiest sport.
Yes. Hard agree. Now, like, when Profar robbed that home run and turned to the crowd and was like giving them a little back and forth, that's awesome. That's fun. That's engaging.
Mm-hmm.
That's what baseball needs. You know what baseball doesn't need? A bunch of idiot LA cholos throwing baseballs at him the second he turns around.
That is weird.
So pathetic. It is so pathetic that you take your sports fandom so seriously that you're willing to attempt and injure a complete stranger.
Not to jump around too quickly, but we're at the end of the show. The Mets took a 2-1 lead in the NLDS and close it out tomorrow night. So there's the update with them versus Philadelphia.
That's a spicy one, too. At least they stopped, like, right short of violence. It's pathetic, dude.
Mm-hmm. It starts so young. There's a highlight from the game today where, what's old boy's name? Aaron Nola goes high and inside to Pete Alonso and kind of brushes him off the plate. What I would call really good playoff baseball, like a stat, you're on the road, like you're trying to get strike zone or a little presence away from the strike zone. And Fox goes to like a 6-year-old kid in the stands, like screaming and like pointing at Aaron Nola, and his dad's just like, "Get him, champ!"
Yeah,
and you're like, they started me young here. Started me real young. I still need this all New York Subway Series World Series.
I mean, that's where I learned how to cuss, was at sporting events when I was a kid. Like, let's not sugarcoat what this audience is. Like,
I did not. I learned to cuss from Madden soundtracks.
Did you
That
really?
was my.
You do like to party, and you like to party hard.
I think nice.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I think I like the most about this Major League Baseball playoffs is all these teams that aren't there regularly. Like, these Mets fans are losing it.
Yeah.
Like, Cohen was out front, like, welcoming people with handshakes. Like, you're doing it.
Yeah.
And then guys like Starling Marte, who is like a career, give me a real number, 333 hitter, 340 hitter.
300 guy, sure.
Dude's a stud.
Yeah.
Bases loaded come up in the postseason. Okay, he's got it. You're like, never been here, brother. You got it? Yeah.
It's a different Mets. I mean, they have a different feel to them.
Well, in the postseason is different altogether. There will be no punishments for the Padres and the Dodgers. There'll be none.
No, they didn't do anything wrong.
Nothing wrong.
You see, Fernando Tatis Jr. hip thrusting the crowd. That's hilarious.
Like sexual.
That is fun. Oh, very sexual.
Okay, I'm into
Yeah.
that.
It was hilarious. It was engaging. You got the crowd going. You got the crowd into it. Started throwing stuff at him. Like, you pathetic losers. You can't just like jab at him and talk smack. You have to be so emasculated. You got to get so upset that you throw trash at a complete stranger who's there to entertain you. The lowest of the low.
Also, not to be this guy, Fred, stop picking on the Dodgers fans. They're just supporting their team. Fred, did you know Walker Buehler got robbed by Dodgers fans today?
Sure. Yeah.
Yesterday?
Saw that as well.
Walker Buehler had a $100,000 watch robbed off of him.
Yeah. He's
by
like,
Dodgers
no,
fans.
I'm Walker Buehler. And like, we don't care.
No.
You're not on the field right now.
It was a mob
I'm
of
not
people
wearing blue.
rushed him and stole his $100,000 whatever X.
Yeah. So, yeah. Walker Buehler's no Ricky Pearsall. We've established that.
Okay.
Really fast.
Yeah, we know what he do.
Yeah. You pull your piece out on the lanes.
Oh, Walker Buehler is doing very well. I heard a rumor he owns racehorses, and he seems like the type of guy.
Okay. Yeah. His name's Walker Buehler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like a old-timey count name.
Hey, and that's like a little bit of, I know we got to go to break, but that's like a little bit of a thing for Albuquerque and the things they live in the hardest city on earth. Like, this kind of stuff does happen.
Mhm.
It doesn't happen here.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, Walker Buehler's not going to a war zone in his $100,000 watch.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
Well, this wasn't
And the
even,
war zone ain't going to Isotope Stadium to try to rob Walker Buehler.
this was Santa
Who
Anita.
was here this year, and he was fine.
Yeah, he was fine here.
Yeah.
This was over at Santa Anita Park. Do you know where that's at?
Yes, familiar.
Okay. So, I mean,
It's not that bad.
you would guess it's not. You would guess it's not. That's where the racetrack is, right?
Yeah,
I
the
wanna make-
racetrack.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, the little
It's like a golf course over there. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
It's a whole ass area. They got that little boardwalk and like restaurants and stuff like all around there.
Isaiah's like, there's an In-N-Out burger. Yeah, Isaiah, all in California, we know.
Yeah.
God,
I've actually never had that before.
it's all right.
Never had In-N-Out.
No, it's good. You should. I mean, you should do it.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
Maybe
one in
better than
Phoenix.
Portillo's. You boys had Portillo's?
Is there one in Denver?
There is not one in
No.
Denver. What have we had? What?
Portillo's?
What is that? Like a soft drink?
No, it's a restaurant. I guess it is only in it might only be in Illinois.
Chicago street food.
Oh my gosh, it's got the best burgers. But it's a little more, it's not like strictly a Chicago place. There's a lot of them. I'm surprised there's none in Missouri.
Is it like a hot dog thing? Like what is it?
Chicago dogs. They got
Hot dog, it's the most popular, but the burgers
Yeah,
are
they
my
got-
favorite.
yeah, they got burgers. They got Chicago beef.
So
Fish
here's
sandwiches.
my problem with Chicago hot dog food, pizza included. They're all so similar. I'm not good at differentiating which is which. Like if it's like Pizza Uno or Lou Malinati's or Giordano,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
Also,
Like-
it's not pizza. Quit calling it pizza.
I apologize.
The deep dish casserole.
Yeah.
All right. That's not pizza.
Oh man, I follow this this girl. It's from Italy, and she went to Chicago this recently, and she had the deep dish pizza, and she approved. So I said, okay, the Italians approve of the deep dish pizza.
Wait until you accidentally wreck her life on how they didn't really invent that. It's 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610. They came over from the Spanish. It's a whole thing. The sports animal.
South America.
60-year-old rookie, Keanu Reeves, spins his car and finishes 25th in his racing debut, man.
If he didn't spin that thing out, he'd be placing or showing. He's won a bunch of these like celebrity racing things.
Yeah.
Like, he dominates like the not real racing tour.
And the Matrix.
Yeah. Well, he beat the Matrix, so thanks, Keanu.
Right? It just resets. It's like you missed the whole point of the movie.
I did miss the whole point of the movie.
Yeah, I mean, you can't win against the Matrix.
The second one was so bad I didn't watch the third one.
The third one
but
doesn't.
The first one's
The
fantastic.
third one doesn't really clear anything up. It's as good as John Wick is. That's how bad the Matrix is.
God, the first one was fantastic. What can't Keanu do?
He was not going to finish Win Place Your Show, by the way. He was in 21st when he spun out. Also,
Well, he's a finisher, not a starter.
he qualified 31st out of 35, finished 25th out of 35, increasing 6 positions. Obviously, his best position was only 21st. That's where he spun out.
So how long until the John Wick movies are going to start getting that Fast and Furious curse?
They already have it. So there's a spinoff already. There's stuff in the John Wick universe. It's the best stuff of all time.
Okay, so they've already moved off of the John Wick movies.
The hotel movie?
Yeah.
What was it called? The show. It was a series.
Yeah.
Come on. Continental.
Yeah.
Good breakfast, too. Better series.
It's an okay breakfast.
Well, it's average. Continental was way
A lot
better.
of carbs.
That was a cool movie. Series.
Canadian.
It's in the John Wick universe, Zay. That's why I
Yeah,
mentioned.
and there's a new one with a
That's why I
gal.
mentioned.
So he's got.
There's a gal one, too?
A gal one coming
Oh,
out,
cool.
which I'm into that stuff.
Is it Sydney Sweeney? Because she's been everywhere.
I don't know who that is.
She's been attacking my algorithm.
Yeah, you do.
Who?
You know who that is.
Sydney Sweeney.
Just said I did.
Maybe you don't know the face. Maybe you don't know the name, but if you saw the face, you recognize.
Is that what you'd recognize?
Is she in the Joker
face?
too?
The face, is that what you'd recognize
Is she
first?
in the Joker too?
No.
I
That
don't
is Lady
know.
Gaga.
Is she in Beetlejuice?
It's Gaga. She was in Euphoria.
Did not
Now
watch
she's just
that.
all over the place.
I don't know what Euphoria is. So.
Really?
No.
That's a bummer.
What do I watch?
You watch wrestling and only wrestling.
I'm not even very good about
I know.
that. That's the crazy thing about me on the radio. All these stories I have are stuff I do. I'm not just recanting television shows.
Mhm.
Hey, things were waking up with this today. Crazy night last night on the fill in the blank sitcom that doesn't matter. Ugh. I want to talk about Keanu Reeves racing under the Canadian flag and how mad I'm going to be when he finally wins a race. He's just better than everyone.
Canadian racist.
Also, does this feel like a midlife crisis thing to you? Canadian racist is very funny. Does this feel like a midlife crisis?
He's been doing stuff like this his whole life, though. Like, he's weird. He's been racing and, like, he's in motorcycle racing, too, I believe.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
He's 60. He's going to live to 120.
At least.
Do you think on his headset he's quoting lines
With his high level of income and advances in modern science and technology,
I like this. I like what you're doing.
ain't no reason he shouldn't live to be 150, 160.
We can't go below 50 miles per hour.
So hopefully he's going way faster than that.
He'll age like Chuck Norris. You know, Chuck Norris is like ageless in our minds. That's how Keanu Reeves will be.
Well, he's ageless in his face, too. He's like barely aged.
Who, Keanu or Chuck?
Keanu.
Keanu.
Yeah,
Well, Chuck's a different. Yeah,
Chuck-
he's had some work done.
Yeah, he's significantly older. Still Chuck Norris, though.
Yes, he is.
His teammate was Cody from Dude Perfect.
Yeah.
What is going on here?
Crazy world out there.
I don't think I've ever seen it. I just looked her up. I don't think I've ever seen a single Sydney Sweeney movie.
Really?
No.
I don't think I have either, but she is all over my algorithm.
Eden, no clue. Immaculate, no clue. No, I've not seen any of this. There you go. Isaiah back in the studio.
Madden 16, best soundtrack.
I saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's the worst Tarantino movie. Van?
Out of 11?
Yes, it's
Okay.
number 11.
Still pretty good. Have fun with your friends and family. Give some hugs, would you? And check out the opening drive tomorrow morning with Jeff and JJ.
Good job, everyone. Keep breathing.
See you tomorrow. Booker.
Get ready to step into the ring of